So, I was able to finish dinner a little quicker than expected. So, let's not put up with more than we absolutely have to, right? Let's get back to what we're really here for. Some hot, well, I was going to say some hot double dragon action. Some might argue that what we just witnessed was hot double dragon action. I might beg to differ. We are going to move on to almost assuredly hotter double dragon action anyway. We have checked out the arcade, NES, Amiga, and Atari ST versions of Double Dragon 3, the Rosetta Stone. We shall move on further to. Let's check out the Commodore 64 version. How about that? It was hot something, yes. That far I can go. That far I can go. Let me attempt to get some kind of Commodore 64 situation going here. Give me a second here to set everything up. I think this is the capture we want to use. Maybe? There we go. There we go. We got some computer ports to check out. I think it kind of logically... My recollection of what these ports are all like, based on my 5 seconds of testing each of them, I feel like there's some versions that are more similar to each other than others. So I think I hope the order I'm picking here makes sense. But regardless, whatever. We're gonna check out all of them anyway, right? So let's see here. Double Dragon 3, the Rosetta Stone, 1991 sales curve, cracked by ARM. Sounds good to me. Let me update stream overlay here. Game number 5. Again, by the sales curve, as all these computer ports are. Also released in 1991. Oddly silent crack screen here. Then again, I guess for Commodore 64, not to say these things are unusual, but I associate them more with Amiga stuff. Well, do we have controls set up? Yep, there we go. ARM HQ SP Italy. Wanna see end sequence now? No. Okay. How do I proceed here? Do I press the fire button? No. Click. Okay, we gotta... wait, is this how I switch? Okay, I switched joypads. That didn't seem to help. Do I press down? We'll figure this out. I know I got past this previously. I just don't remember exactly how I did. Maybe I just press enter space. Nope. Pressing N doesn't help. Oh, alright. Pressing up, maybe, on the joystick. Not sure. I swapped back and forth between both joypads and tried left and right. I think I tried every direction except up, and that what got us past it. We didn't seem to be able to sort of change any other settings. We might have to reset to see if we can figure out the trainer again. But at least we're into the game. I haven't got any more music. I was going to say more unique music. I mean, clearly it's not identical. I'm trying to figure out if it's like based on the theme from the Amiga version. Doesn't sound like it. We're missing the Egyptian brick wall, but I like the font for the logo. It looks nice. I mean, obviously this type of title screen is pretty standard. Doesn't stand out. I mean, it's not like it's compared to other C64 games weirdly understated or anything. Let me double check something. I'm sure this... the image I'm running was from a disc. I'm not sure if this otherwise was released on tape. I don't have a different cover art for it anyway. I think all of the PC versions, all of the sales curve versions basically had this cover art. So we don't need to update that. Well, press fire to start. Let's Yeah, I love hearing that little fade. Oh, got some nice iced coffee here to carry me through these other 6 versions or whatever. Cover art's the same. Have the original. Sick. I want to say from my very brief testing that this also is kind of impressive in its own right. But probably also similarly not nearly as fun to play as the arcade. The heroes swore they would give... Okay, we got the ending. I guess I accidentally... I didn't mean to, but I must have accidentally switched to let's watch the ending. Dude, we even got the proper title screen here. Starred Billy and Jimmy. Okay. Obviously, I didn't mean to do this. Whoa, this is kind of cool. We get the, like, programming staff for... Actually, full credits for, like, every version. That's fascinating. Very interesting. Alright, GG next game. No. I mean, if we can't be bothered to fight our way through the game, which we probably won't. At least we got to see this. That's nice. I would have preferred to see the game first, but these things happen sometimes. Marketing and confiscation of water pistol weaponry. Like, not just Sing. Alright. I mean, pretty, like, fancy credits. You know, with the whole scrolling and back. I mean, the fucking image makes it impossible to read the text half of the time. But, and you know, it's not like this is the most technologically advanced thing you've ever seen. Alright, okay. I guess... It's just looping. Anyway, okay. Is there like a simple reset? Soft reset? Okay. Is it gonna... Well, whatever. Well... Yeah. Is it loaded? Can we just run? Nope. Alright, let's just auto start. I definitely made it through that trainer sequence without activating the ending cheat when I try this off stream. Let's see if we can figure it out this time. Alright, so here we need joystick 1, it appears. Yep. I was kind of like just twirling the stick. Alright, so if I press up? No, okay. Maybe I need to be joystick 2, though. So if I press left... No, nothing happens. Alright, let's swap joysticks. Oh, wait. Joy 2, left, right. Okay. Now I understand what that even means. So right on joystick 2 means no. What a stupid, weird, convoluted setup. Can I just type Y or N on the keyboard? So there aren't, like normally, or in some other games at least, there's like 4 or 5 of these questions, like do you want infinite lives, do you want this, do you want that? I guess this is all there's to it. I just press no. Okay, well, I guess if we choose to watch the ending, then none of the other things are going to be relevant, so that makes sense. Stop collisions for both players. I guess this means so the enemies can't hit you? No. Endless energy. Let's try no, but maybe we can have infinite coins. Worst case scenario, we'll just play it vanilla style and see how that goes. Endless time. Yeah, I don't think time overing is gonna make it any more fun. Endless coins. Sure. Who can mess around with it? Endless continues. Is that a separate mechanic from coins? Sure. Huh. Alright. Let's jump into it. Continues, yeah. I mean, that's what the other games have, right? Satisfying whir of the virtual tape drive. I guess it's a disk drive, but obviously load speeds are generally a bit faster here. Now this is gaming, that's for sure, Zetsubera. What's up, man? Hope everyone's doing well this Thursday evening. Mission 1, America. Well, that's a pretty decent facsimile of the original game. So is this, you know? It got a nice little personality to its stance. No music or anything, but Alright, turning around is a little awkward, but that's faithful to the other versions. Enemies, similarly unspongy. I like it. Alright, we're getting bopped here. Let's go to the shop. Like, fucking instant loading. Dude, this looks nice. Let's get some extra men. We can only buy one extra man. Tricks, energy, power up. We got it. Yeah, the spin kick is like nice and fast at least. Guys just like kneeling down. Wait, it says coins 6. Do you start with only 6 coins, or did we actually lose coins for that? So these were all, like, each version was programmed by someone else, but I assume they probably had, like, the same sort of design document. I don't know. Because controls seem to be identical. There's no running. Down plus button to do tricks. Shoutouts to Power Records. Also, 3 enemies on screen. Oh, what the? You do have the headbutt. How did I do that? I was, like, mashing down and button to do the spin kick, and I did the headbutt. What the heck? I did start with 10. Might wrap. We might also not play this long enough for it to matter. Yeah, it could also be that once it's 0, it's whatever. Like, but I think it was the same for the ST version. We didn't specifically ask for unlimited coins, but the coin counter did go down. The Jimmy portrait owns. I mean, I think the sprites are pretty good. They're like Billy's kind of fighting pose is pretty accurate. Like, I think these sprites they look far more appealing to me than the weird high resolution sprites from Double Dragon 1 on C64. Double Dragon 2 probably had the best ones, but I think these are not bad at all. We get the full transition walking through the door that was removed from the Amiga and ST versions. Oh shit. I tried to do the jump kick and didn't get it. Oh. This part kind of sucks in every version, I feel. Might be worse than most of them right here, though. The standing kick is what kicked him off. All right, okay, maybe we'll try that then. Because there's there's gonna be more bikes. That's a satisfying explosion noise. I like that the bike just slides off screen, though. Oh, okay. There's only 2 bikes in the arcade, but all right, let's do more of them. Why not? It's the Double Dragon 3 experience. Jump kicks don't seem to be super. Also, I just realized the life wraps around. It goes back to 300. Alright, that was perfectly timed to not hit. We got some hot development lore in chat. Dude, I definitely had my leg extended when he drove into me. Can I do a neutral jump kick? I can. Okay, that might help. I'm in my jump kick pose, and he, like, hits his head on my knee, and I still get damaged. 2008, the developer Paul Rogers wrote this on Lemon 64. My first game written for the sales curve. Thought it was okay, at least I got to play on the actual arcade game for a month for research and get paid. Had a lot of fun writing it in a dark office with a bunch of fellow coders. I mean, that sounds like a good time. Oh, dude, yeah, they jump down. Like, this is, it reminds me a little bit of Double Dragon 2 in that the C64 version seems to retain more of those little details than the 16-bit computer versions, which is kind of weird, but definitely cool. And, like, if you've played the arcade game, the character design seems, like, somewhat recognizable. If not, then, you know, it works as just this bigger dude. Like, I wouldn't necessarily say that these are, like, immaculately designed sprites, but in terms of translating the arcade ones, I think they did a great job. Graphically, this is, you know, it's not blowing me away exactly, but it's there's really nothing. I have nothing to complain about. Yeah, real-time two-player support for pretty much all computer ports, really. I can't, off the top of my head, remember one that didn't have it. I will say that I would probably play this over the C64 Double Dragon 2, if only that, even though that was kind of more impressive all around, had the music and everything, I think I probably like the visual style. It had absurdly tanky enemies and only 2 enemies at once. This actually has 3 enemies at once, but I wonder if that changes in 2-player. Maybe there's only 2 enemies if you're playing co-op. But it got pretty bad in Double Dragon 2 because, you know, each enemy took so many hits, and, you know, you fight 2 guys, and... Oh yeah, weapons. They're probably garbage, but yeah, look at this shit. You knock a dude down like 50 times, and he dies. And then as soon as he dies, like an immediate, you know, a clone of the same guy just pops on screen, and you do the same thing. And then like the third guy, so you just like repeat the same tedious, you know, monotonous process too many times for too long before you're allowed to advance. And then you go to the next screen and you kind of do the same thing. Like, it's so interesting to play the C64 and Spectrum versions of Double Dragon 2 back to back, because they're like the exact opposites of each other. C64, like, really fancy looking, great sound and everything, but it's a slog, and it took like an hour to play through. The Spectrum version obviously isn't like that much of a looker. I think for a Spectrum game, it looks good, but you know, it's not super impressive. It doesn't have like a lot of cool shit going for it. But it's like super fast paced. Every enemy dies in 2 hits, and it takes like 5 minutes to complete. Jimmy looks like Beavis. I don't know why, but when I look at it, I'm getting like Sierra Adventure vibes. Like fucking Sonny Bonds from Police Quest 2 or something. I like that his sprite has a little kind of pompadour. Kind of looks like one anyway. But yeah, like compared to 2, this is like mercifully brief. Yeah, the guy like jumping on screen. It's cool. I like that they have all those little boss intro stuff. Nunchuck seems alright in this version, I guess. You wouldn't maybe realize immediately that this is like the Bruce Lee guy, though. He looks like a buff, just generic dude with like a buzz cut. Then again, it's C64. You can't perhaps ask too much of like sprite definition. And even in the arcade version, it's not like his movement has particular like Bruce Lee-like grace to them. He just kind of walks around and kicks. Well, he doesn't even really kick so much. He just does these fucking long-range palm thrusts. Well, the occasional kick, I guess. Yep, there we go. Yeah, nice and fast. We'll probably play through this version. This is a more civilized game than the arcade. Yeah, and I think that's basically my... That's why I like the Amiga versions of 1 and 2 also. You can get completely overwhelmed with like 7 enemies piling on your... I was going to say corpse. I guess you're not quite dead, but they're not quite as ruthless as the arcade. And, I mean, if we didn't have infinite health, we'd probably have game overed several times over. Taking the health out of the equation, I think, affects the level of civility we experience here. Let me adjust my camera settings here. I think we can do that. There we go. I have to like manually adjust the exposure here to make it look okay. It's kind of annoying. But yeah, I mean, comparing this to the ST version. Oh yeah, well, I guess we'll see here. If we buy power up. No, we're out of coins. But we can still buy weapons. Okay, yeah. You can kind of still buy shit. I tried to jump. I accidentally entered the shop, but sure, why not? Like, number of enemies. Oh, yeah, I can't. Whoa, the traps are here already. Is a little, like, everything is just kind of cut down a little bit in this version, but it's kind of for the better. It just makes it a kind of faster and briefer experience. Which, when we're talking about a version where you have a shittier moveset, you can't do the most satisfying stuff from the arcade game. The game isn't necessarily diminished by having less of it. And I mean, to be honest, it's not necessarily that, like, hey, game is bad, therefore less game equals better. It's not entirely untrue, but it's an oversimplification. It's more that a game can be fun, but if there isn't enough sort of mechanical depth to challenge you, like every game, no matter its other achievements, I think has like an appropriate length to it, right? I wrote an article about this from my blog where, like, basically my thesis is that people have weird hang-ups over games being too short, which I think is like a non-issue. I've had so many more experiences with games outstaying their welcome and becoming tedious than oh, this looks a little different. No, like, height difference, I guess, in the floor. Then I've had games where I've been upset that they ended too soon. Like, if a game is fun and you reach the end, well, you can probably just start over and have fun. Unless it's, like, extremely narrative-driven to the point where if you know the story, there's no reason to play it again. Which, you know, can be true for a game and it can still be good. But for, like, an action game, I'd rather it be short and fun all the way through than long and just tedious. And one example I give is Rogue Warrior, the first-person shooter, which is obviously, like, widely considered a terrible game, and I wouldn't exactly say that it's good, but it's like 90 minutes long, and I had fun with it. It doesn't have time to get really boring. And a game can withstand being simple to the point where you play it for 5 minutes and you've kind of explored the mechanical depth, if it doesn't try to overextend that into, like, far longer than the game can support. And I think kind of the version we just played, the ST version, kind of does that, just on account of it being kind of slow and it taking... I don't know, I feel like we're progressing through this game way faster. And it's giving me less room to get frustrated and bored with it. And ultimately making the game better. Have I done a shmup stream? Not sure if it's my thing. I don't think I've ever done, like, a theme stream of doing only shoot-em-ups. I may have played a shoot-em-up here or there on my stream at some point. Definitely when we've explored PC Engine stuff, a shoot-em-up or two will have come up. It looks pretty cool. Oh, I like the shirt can have, like, a little shadow. That's nice. But it's not really my thing. I have a couple in my collection. It's one of those things that I wouldn't mind getting into shoot-em-ups more. They're, like, you know, obviously one of the most pure, like, arcade genres of games. But I'm no good at them. And I've never played anyone shoot 'em up, like, to the point of learning it proper. Oh, yeah, there we go. You can not spin kick. That's true in the arcade also. Like, when you have any weapon in the arcade, you kind of lose a lot of abilities. Interestingly enough, it doesn't seem like you ever drop the sword. In the arcade, you drop it, like, the second you get touched. But I'm sure I'm not going to keep it to the next level. So we'll go back to... Well, I guess I don't know if the sword is... If I'm losing that much by having it. Like, strategically. In the arcade, obviously, it's a big deal because you have more moves. Here, I mean, especially the Japanese version where you don't have to worry about the trick nonsense. Here, I kind of punch, kick, and maybe spin kick occasionally. But it's not like the spin kick is a be-all, end-all of destroying people in this version. These guys are not that hard to hit, though. That's nice. They just, you know, there's 3 of them. This would be kind of weird if the game only supports... I mean, that's... I have no idea. Pure speculation. But if the game only supports, like, 4 characters on screen, if that means that in 2-player mode, this boss only has 2 copies. I mean, it would make life easier, but... Alright, take down one of them. Alright, here comes the shurikens. Oh, that smoke cloud looks cool. Ah, shit. Nice. There's something, I don't know why, but there's something really satisfying about that slow, like, keeling over animation. They, like, drop to their knees. It's kind of cool. Alright, good. Combo. Caught him in the infinite. Nice, got him. That was satisfying. Control seems super feel good in this. Like, it's responsive. I know it. You are real strong. I have the stone. From now on, you will need my help. Alright. We're gonna go visit Godi. Good beat 'em ups were rare on C64, so I was really excited when I saw this get good reviews. Had to buy it as soon as it came out. Yeah, I mean, it's a type of genre, like 8-bit beat 'em ups, there aren't a lot of great ones. And the ones that are good or are considered good, like, usually have... they're usually very different from arcade or, 16-bit beat 'em ups. Either they incorporate more kind of platforming stuff. Almost always the combat mechanics are a lot simpler. If you look at something like Mighty Final Fight and compare it to the arcade Final Fight, like, they're obviously super different games. Beyond, like, the RPG mechanics or whatever, like, just in terms of the core, hit detection and combos and stuff like that kind of thing is almost always simplified. Now, in this particular instance, it's not terribly different from the arcade in that particular... oh yeah, I guess I've lost my tricks. I can't do spin kicks. Yep, no spin kicks. Okay, that kind of sucks, but we'll make do. But, like, yeah, this runs. It's, like, full speed. It's nice and smooth. Characters look good. So yeah, I mean, I think this is probably more fun to play than the C64 version of 2, and certainly than either version of Double Dragon 1. I didn't like any of those. Like, those ports were both bad. I think the Amiga version of this was okay, but I would definitely prefer to play the Amiga version of 1 or 2. Those were both, I think, really good. But for someone who had a Commodore 64 and wanted, like, a beat-em-up, the Double Dragon experience, this is probably the best Double Dragon game on the C64. Dude, the backgrounds look awesome. Like, this looks really cool. Like, there's even, like, perspective on the cobblestone or whatever on the floor. Like, there's so much detail here. There's, like, more detail in this background than in arcade Double Dragon 1. It's really impressive. The portrait's pretty strong. And yeah, I think the fact that everything is, like, mercifully non-tanky and spongy, like, that's the biggest boon to this game, and the biggest reason I would put this over 2, probably. I mean, I do think the graphics in this are great. It's a little different looking than 2. I'm not sure if I have a super strong opinion on which I think looks better than the other. Alright, that wall is a little simplified. No skull emblem. But both of them look good. Like, Billy is very recognizable as Billy from Double Dragon. Like, if I saw this sprite completely devoid of context, I'd probably say, like, oh, alright, that's Billy from Double Dragon, right? Oh, man. But just the fact that it feels kind of snappy and enemies actually die within reasonable time makes this fun to play, I think, in a way that the others aren't. I don't remember strictly if Double Dragon 1 had, like, awful tanky enemies. The biggest thing I remember is that the movesets were, especially in the Ocean version, but I think it was true in the Binary Design version also, that the moveset that you could do in Double Dragon 1 on C64 was just pretty limited. There was, like, no variety in moves you can do, and collision detection was terrible. Amiga Double Dragon 1, I think, is maybe missing some things. Grab moves are a little more awkward to do and stuff, but, you got the elbow, you got punches and kicks, and it just feels really satisfying to land those hits. I do think the collision detection in this is actually good. I hadn't really thought about it, but that's probably a good sign. When stuff just like works like you'd expect for like an 8-bit computer action game with free movement like this, that's honestly not the lowest bar to clear. It's not really something you can take for granted at all. Not that it's perfect, but like it's probably no worse than the arcade. Oh, you're right. It does say Jimmy. I didn't even think about that. I guess if I saw this sprite and said it was Billy, I would have been wrong. Would have been wrong then, because it's Jimmy. Even though their hair colors and other aspects of their designs change a lot. And their colors do change in Double Dragon 2 Arcade and some other ports where Billy is like dark blue and Jimmy is silver or white. I don't think there's a game where Jimmy is bright blue and Billy is any other color. Okay, mission 5, last stage. Not the most impressive looking level, but not bad. Oh shit, right, we got more motorbikes. Alright, got pretty lucky. Yeah, the way the bike slides off screen. Satisfying, but it looks a little funny when it happens so far on the right. I don't think scrolling the screen is going to change the number of bikes we have to deal with. But I still want to try to progress. You press up and button to jump, and like up plus mashing button to maybe jump kick. In most other versions of 1 and 2, it's like one direction to jump and another like up or up forward to jump, straight or forward, and like down forward to do a jump kick. It's not like that here. I guess up, forward, and button, you just do the kick. There's no forward jump without the kick, which is the way I wish it had been. But for some reason, the diagonals are kind of weird. I am using an Xbox One controller, and the D-pad, I guess, is a little funky like that, so I don't always get exactly the right move, but... wonder if this game does the big shift downwards into the Golem area. Yeah, I mean, we'll find out. I think so far it's been pretty good with those little transitions and details, so I would kind of expect it. But at the same time, it's a detail that I wouldn't be shocked to see cut. Scrolling is always a bit dicey, I suppose. I mean, if it has like changed the scrolling direction. Right, I keep trying to do the spin kick. I forget that I don't have it. No music, no in-game music, but that's not uncommon. Unless there's some keyboard command to enable music, which Amiga Double Dragon 2 did have. So that completely, you know, impossible, I suppose. Can I just punch him, maybe? Well, that worked. But I probably just got lucky. But it's worth a shot. Alright, yeah, I guess we completely overcomplicated things. Oh, there we go. Alright, so we walk... So this is... Okay. Yeah, didn't quite get the fancy transition. This screen looks great, though. The wood golems are... blend in a bit here. But look at all this, like, texture and detail. And the trees in the back, like... You know, the color palette's a little different. It's arguably somewhat funny looking. But I think it works great. Like, I feel like it's really unusual to have C64 games with, like, this much detail, like, all over the screen, if that makes sense. Like, the fact that we got, like, this detailed floor with these... I'm not sure if they're reflections of the trees or what they are. Kind of look like reflections. Maybe we can see the water underneath whatever we're walking on, and we see the tree reflected in the water. Because obviously there's reflections in the back. Like, the C64 has, you know, whatever screen resolution it has. But it's not like, you know, on any system, you know, if you look at it, you know, whether it's a Nintendo or Super Nintendo or Amiga or Mega Drive, whatever it might be, filling the screen with detail isn't, you know, it's not the same as opening up a document in Photoshop and changing the canvas size to that pixel resolution. Like, it's all down to how you store the graphics data in an efficient way in, like, tiles and whatnot. So, for any game on any console that isn't, like, the Lynx, maybe, um, you wouldn't typically see like sort of unique full screen graphics in the background. Like there's going to be repetitions and tiles. And I've played a lot of C64 in my day, but I'll admit it hasn't been very recent. But still, in my head, when I think of C64 visuals, I don't typically think of stuff that's so... There's so much kind of relative unique detail over so much of the screen. Either like just a smaller portion of the screen having gameplay in the first place, or kind of, you know, a bigger empty sky or that kind of thing. I feel like it stands out to me that there's so much detail all over the screen. I didn't notice it or comment on it, by the way, but it's really awesome that they did keep the stump animation. These things turn into tree stumps when they die. Like, that's something that could have easily been not implemented in the game. It's really cool. But yeah, overall, I think the visuals are definitely a high point of this port. So far, every port, like the Amiga and ST versions, I think they did a great job with the graphics too. But unlike the Amiga and ST versions, this has kind of a unique appeal of its own. Because the Amiga and ST versions were so specifically and so obviously just the arcade, but like with fewer colors, there wasn't really any unique appeal or personality to them. This definitely has its own vibe. And something about the kind of lo-fi quality of the resolution, the colors, etc. Like, it makes it easier to appreciate the amount of detail in the background. Because it's not really like this has more detail than the ST or Amiga versions. But even if those were highly impressive, which they kind of are, the fact that it looks like the arcade version, to some degree, kind of makes you take it for granted, I guess. Like, it's more obvious that the work that went into getting the graphics on here, because they look so different. It's a weird thing, because, you know, it's not like it takes less effort because there's more colors or whatever. But it's easier to kind of see the specific efforts that went into making it, you know, run on this this platform. There's a secret hidden beneath here. All right, so this is the hand and stone block rooms. All right, we'll go into the door manually. The room that destroyed us in the Amiga version. Yeah, and much like that version, by the way, there's no running. Obviously, there's no wiggling wave dash because there's no wiggling because there's no grid-based movement. But there's also no running. I tried to jump to get through it in the Amiga version. That did not seem to be very helpful. Mission 6, Egypt 2. Alright. Hey, the C64 has an exclusive 6th stage. How about that? Oh, dude, look at how smooth that is. That looks so good. Alright, let's buy some tricks. Wait, I can't... What? I definitely don't have tricks. Or at least I didn't on the previous stage. But I still can't buy them? No, I don't. I can't do the spin kick. What the heck? Oh boy. Get comboed. Well, if I face left, maybe I'll get comboed to the right. Yeah. I guess you move faster when jumping, probably. Oh, that hand looks good. It looked like the background. And this looks so fucking good. I'm really impressed. And there's like a lot of moving things at once here. There's like more shit than in the arcade. As far as this being civilized, I'm not too sure. We may have reached the end of civilization. Alright. Maybe we can rebuild society here, though. Oh yeah, go left. Alright. We gotta... It's the disc armor comes flying here, and we fight Goaty here. Oh, there it is. That sounds not annoying at all. Ouch. You do move faster when jumping, but you can't really use it to scroll much faster. If they could have had this noise while other sound effects Could they not have had music? Man, imagine if we got hot C64 jams throughout the entire like gameplay, like in 2. I mean, that's one feature that undeniably 2 has over this one. But I think the Amiga version having music and sound effects are maybe the coolest. Kind of makes the Amiga version of 2. Well, it's not my favorite, but it's a version I wouldn't mind revisiting. The Amiga version of 1 like has the distinction of it being a game we managed to actually beat legitimately with the credits and settings and everything that the game actually gave us without the trainer. I don't think that was true for 2. I don't remember it, but I don't think so. But yeah, again, bosses being mercifully... Well, I don't want to say weak, but you don't have to wail on them for too long before they go down. Mummy time? No, wait, not yet. We gotta deal with Hiruko first. So, it's rock golems. This is a pretty decently long stage. Maybe it's Egypt 3 now? Oh, yeah, it is Egypt 3. Oh, shit. I forgot about this part. It's a bit fucked that we start up here, though. Dude, look at that alien, though. What the... I beg your pardon? In Hebrew, Rosetta starts with a Y. Shit. I knew I shouldn't have skipped that page. So, in case you didn't see the other versions, it was honestly a little hard to make out visually, but there's like... I mean, it's basically Last Crusade, right? There's a bunch of letters on the floor, and you step on the letters that spell out Rosetta. But normally, you're supposed to start on the bottom right of the screen. You start right next to it. And you walk up and you jump over. So I tried to circle around to reach the R, but somehow I guess I slipped and stepped above it, and I just fell out of the universe. And it didn't... Yeah, like, I don't understand the whole coin situation continues. We had infinite coins and infinite continues, but we still could not continue. Maybe it's a thing because that's the final stage. You're not allowed to continue on the final stage. I mean, we got to see the ending, right? That's still disappointing. I would have wanted to see what the final boss fights and shit look like. And this trainer didn't let us pick a stage. We couldn't like start on stage 7. And I'm not gonna play through the whole thing again. Because... chances are I'm not going to have any easier a time clearing it the next time. But hey, what can I say? Going through all these different versions of these games, it's just full of surprises. You know, I haven't gone through any of this with any of my preconceived notions intact. I feel like almost every single game has either been more impressive than I imagined, and or there's something really unique or cool about a particular version, or it's like surprisingly fun, or very few of the versions we've played have been like, yup, that's what I expected, it's whatever, let's move on. And if the game is good, I guess I wouldn't have that attitude towards it, even if it was exactly what I expected. So it's only like, I don't know, DOS Double Dragon 1, which is like PC speaker sound, kind of ugly EGA graphics, just an overall worse version of the Amiga port with worse controls. And it's like, yep, this doesn't have anything over the Amiga version, there's no reason to play this. I mean, the CGA colors were a bit of a novelty, I suppose. But like, that's pretty much the height of like, meh, whatever. Like, even the Spectrum versions... I mean, the Spectrum versions of 2, I keep coming back to it. Like, that was really fun. And I would just not have expected that. And this, for all weird shit going on, like, it was pretty fun. Like, I think this is a good port. And the way it ended, you know, it's a little underwhelming to trip on the finish line and not see the final bosses, but that was pretty funny. It was unexpected. I'll give it that. Way more of the game than I've seen, and I've had it for 30 years. Yeah, I know the feeling. I guess I'm biased, but NES version my favorite because of nostalgia. I mean, the NES game is I mean, it's jacked. The difficulty is insane, but it's got a lot of other things going for it. And I mean, for the most part, you have people like Hastemaker, I guess, who's, you know, had some of these versions as a computer gamer and perhaps collector. But by and large, like, the NES version, I'm sure, is by far the most, like, the version most people have played. People might have seen the arcade version. There's some other ports here and there, but, like, I think if you say Double Dragon 3, most people would probably think of the NES version. And there's certainly a lot to like about that version, but it's also kind of fucked. The fact that you'll have the one life and, like, some of the... Yeah, the difficulty balancing is completely out of whack in that game. But I'm not going to fault anyone for defaulting to that as, like, their version they think of, and even so far as to say it's their favorite or that they really like it. I kind of really like NES Double Dragon 3, but except a few very specific but major things that kind of take away a lot of the fun from it. But I also definitely like the arcade version more than I kind of thought I did. C64 version of Double Dragon 3 remains impressive. Not my favorite, but if I played this as a kid, if I had a C64, I would probably have enjoyed it. I mean, I guess playing it without a trainer, I might enjoy it less. I might never see more than the first two stages, but hey, that's C64 gaming for you, and also that's Double Dragon 3 for you. But we're gonna leave C64 DD3 there. Like I said, we were lucky to, even if by accident, use the cheat to see the ending. We got that cool C64 version of that Kenshiro artwork, even if it only had Billy and Jimmy. Actually, I guess that means there aren't any other characters in this port. Which makes sense. But they were in the other versions. I mean, that's like kind of an obvious streamlining thing. And even if, you know, Billy is like the worst character in the NES game, he's arguably worse maybe in the arcade. I don't know. By and large, most people to whom this would have been the main version of the game, they got it, played it. If it has Billy and Jimmy and no one else, like, I'm not sure how many people would have been like, oh man, where's Sonny? Like, I can't believe I don't get to play as fucking Chin Seimei or whatever. So, as far as cutting things, I think that's you know, pretty alright. I can live with that. But that has been the C64 version. Now let's shut this down. As cool as these jams are, we're gonna exit here. And give me a second here. I want to set up one more thing here. We're gonna move on to another computer version. We got a few left. And we're going to check out the Spectrum port. Big shoes to fill here, coming off of the stellar Spectrum Double Dragon 2. Right, that's the name of the emulator. Ink Spectre. Let's see how Double Dragon 3 holds up. Let's see if I can remember how to load the game, first of all. That might be a bit of a challenge, but, well... we'll see if we can get it running. Alright, it's a tape file. It doesn't have like multiple... There's a few different ones. Yeah, the Spectrum emulation stuff is definitely a little bit beyond me, but didn't even know about Sunny or Karate Spock before today. Yeah, dude, how about that? That was pretty sick. Cool, the emulator crashed before I could load it up. Let's try starting it up again. Game number 6. Definitely similar music. We didn't get an opening credit screen or anything. Sounds pretty alright. I like the way they recreated the arcade logo. Alright, define the keys. Right, up, down. Fire, pause. We got a pause key. Nice. Yeah. The Spectrum is a computer I'm definitely not very familiar with, but I feel like I'm impressed whenever I hear, like, quality jams like this. Because when I think of Spectrum audio, I always think of, like, just these clicks. Like, just, like, noise. But you can definitely do some cool sounding shit. Let's just make sure that we are on keyboard. Technically, it supports joysticks, but I've never quite figured out how to get joystick support working properly in emulator, so let's do it on keyboard. Press fire. Okay. You guys ready? Here we go. Mission 1, USA. Alright, we got 8 coins. Let's see how far that takes us. Billy's portrait. A little different, but dude, I love Billy's sprite so much in this. Look at how fucking chunky this boy is. We got punches and kicks. Enemy designs, like, completely recognizable from the arcade. Yeah, this is Spectrum audio. It's also super fucking loud. Let me take cover in the shop and lower the volume. Ah, just gave. Let me lower it a little bit. Alright, we're gonna need some tricks. Do we want extra guys? I think we'll hold on to our coins. Energy, power up. I think we need to be a little stingy here. Oh, the music is pretty fucking good, though. No in-game music, but that's kind of par for the course with these computer ports. Also, down plus button does not execute a trick. I think we have been tricked. What if I mash up and fire? Can I do a spin kick? Oh, kind of. Alright, okay. So, we actually do... It's like in the arcade. You do the jump. And, alright. Frame rate and responsiveness, not quite on the level of the other ports. 3 enemies on screen, though. And really awesome looking sprites. I love the way Billy looks in this. Like his fucking buff arms. And his like posture. I legit really like Billy's sprite. Oh, it's still loud as fuck in my headphones though. Yo, Tondagosa pledging allegiance to the Code of the Dragon. Congrats, Tondagosa. You are a Dragon Master. Wear your new title with pride and responsibility. And just make sure you live by the Code of the Dragon, alright? Congrats. Oh, Power Records. We were like almost dead before we made it to Power Records. Dude, that reflection though. Like, it's so cool to see these like... I mean, it's obviously not the same, but it reminds me a little bit of like black and white Macintosh games. Of course, they had like the high resolution and everything, which this clearly doesn't. But it's still like, because it's focusing on the sort of black and white style, like it just has a different, completely different vibe to it than like C64 stuff. I guess it's technically higher resolution than that because it doesn't have the double wide pixels. But like, I like the way this looks. It doesn't even have like the white outlines, which I guess technically wasn't like a technology thing, but more of an aesthetic thing. Ah, there we go. Kaze Effects. Also a Dragon Master. Congrats, dude. Congrats. And don't forget the Code of the Dragon. Alright, we got a little car. Like, there's a lot of cool detail here, but yeah, it all comes down to how awesome Billy looks. It's like, even if there's, you know, not many reasons perhaps to play this over other versions, but man, he looks kind of cool. Okay, rip in peace, Billy Lee. That's 1 coin less, and also we no longer have the spin kick. Do we need it though? Is it like actually good, or should we just have relied on the normal ass kick? are we screwed either way? Like, jumping and jump kicking seems kind of difficult and awkward in this. But you don't seem to get, like, instantly anti-aired or anything, though. Yeah, Spectrum is a system, as mentioned, that I'm not particularly well versed in, but I'm also kind of surprised when I see these games that don't try too hard to, like, go beyond the system's capabilities with color and just like, screw it, we're gonna go full black and white, but we're gonna make sure the actual sort of line art looks good. And I like the fact that the character sprites are like recognizable from the arcade, but they're all a little chubbier, they're a little cuter, they're a little more stylized in a way that I think gives them more personality. I was saying when we played Double Dragon 2, I think it was, that the strength of the like lines and designs of the original sprites means that it works really well with reduced colors. And I wouldn't have said that at all about the arcade Double Dragon 3, but they've actually sort of changed everything just enough so that it does work really well. Oh, I was not ready for him to come from the left. Oh, that was slow. Alright, we still got him. Still easier to jump kick him off here than in most versions. Do we get a third bike? Nope, this is arcade faithful. Only the 2 bikes. We get the conveyor belts in the pit. Not in every version. They were not in the C64 version. Do we get the animation of the boss jumping off of the platform? Let's find out. Alright, we got a little load sequence here. Oh. Alright, kind of. The boss isn't here, but... Alright, we get the misspelled Texaco Leatherman. It's Texaco here, I guess. Also, just Texaco Leather. Tom is a git, however. That's, alright, we know that. I think, depending on the game and how you make use of it, like, color can probably be used to good effect. But I think there's so much detail in just the black and white that the game definitely benefits from this approach. Like, you obviously couldn't get, like, with the detail, the specific sort of silhouettes and designs of the characters, if tried to go full color, it would look like a complete mess. Jump kicks seem pretty good. And enemies don't seem like horribly tanky. Again, if I had a Spectrum, I feel like you could do a lot worse than this. Would I like this better than Double Dragon 2? I don't know. I definitely like that one. But they're both definitely better than Double Dragon 1. Yeah, the arcade Double Dragon 3 was late 1990. And all of the home ports we've played so far was 91. I just can't get the jump kick to come out now. And again, like, collision detection is, like, fine. Alright, is he gonna just... Oh! Okay, we jumped. We did it, guys. We survived. First stone is in China. Your mission is waiting for you, Double Dragon. Alright, let me just warp out of midair here. Nice. We didn't lose another coin. Sick. Alright, mission 2, China. Oh, shit, I'm not ready for these load times. Alright, let's get some music here. We have full health. I can't quite decipher what Billy's portrait's supposed to be. Looks like a fortune cookie or something. But, it's alright. Do we want to... let's save our coins, man. Actually, let's get an extra guy. We didn't get to see what Sonny looked like, but what about Chin? He might be sick. I mean, it was really good in the arcade version, right? Or, the NES version, rather. Oh, look at these chunky dudes. I just love that sound effect. It's like very similar sounds that you hear in a lot of these games. There's just something about it that it's so, like, crisp and satisfying. And it's like, depending on the game, you know, a lot of games on Amiga and C64 would give you the option to either play with music or sound effects. And I think for, like, a vast majority of games, playing with music is generally the preferred way. Alright, this is getting rough. But playing a beat 'em up with no sound effects, especially ones where the hit detection is a bit dodgy. Dude, look how good the background looks. It's a little questionable, because granted the collision detection isn't bad here. And the enemies react like pretty well, just visually, the way they're animated. But I can see some of these ports not feeling nearly as good as they do without the sound effects. So it's pretty rough, and I guess I can understand the game not even give you the choice. Bo Rizzle, what's up? How is the retrospective going? Am I finding myself getting worn out? Honestly, not at all. If anything, it's like the opposite. We've gotten through so many different versions that I'm honestly a little sad that we're starting to reach a point where there aren't that many versions that I'm completely unfamiliar with. Because all these games that I've never played before, all these different versions, have by and large been kind of a positive surprise. Not all of them are excellent. You know, I'm not naive enough to think that I can go about recommending Spectrum Double Dragon 3 to people without a couple of qualifiers, lest they think I'm a complete lunatic. But there's been very few games where I've just like been upset that like, oh my god, do we really have to play this? Like, can we just move on? Like the games that I've felt that most strongly have kind of been the NES games, because the level of difficulty and frustration in those games is so high. But all of these computer ports have been, almost all of them have been like really impressive in one way or another. Whether it's, you know, for based relative to the kind of what you expect from the hardware or whatever, but a lot more of them have been genuinely enjoyable than I expected. And a lot of others have had like some significant feature or another that's kind of cool. There's Bruce Lee. Oh, dude, the range though. Ooh, this might be rough. Yeah, the Atari 2600 version is that has to be the worst one for sure. Oh, we're getting out footsied here. This is we might this is might be where it all comes crashing down. Oh, whoa. You don't actually get extra men? Well, maybe that's why they changed it from extra guys to extra men in this one. Men, of course, being old school vernacular for lives in an arcade primarily. Oh. Alright, you just gotta finesse your positioning just right here. Don't try to fucking escape. I didn't mean to jump kick, but that works. Is this guy like the Williams in Double Dragon 2 that threw a dynamite and just walked off screen? After finding the first stone, the hero went to find the second. Suddenly we have a narrator. It's no longer Hiroko. Yeah, so Arc System works. You do get like full life refill on each stage. That's very nice. I like that. But if an extra guy is just another Billy, then what's the point of pre-purchasing instead of just using your coins to continue? Assuming the game lets you continue. I guess, was this like our first life? No, we must have died on stage 1, right? I don't even remember. As of 2015, you know, Arc System Works before that for several years had been publishing Technos games, like for the DS and 3DS. But 2015, Technos took full ownership of the Technos brand and IP. And Double Dragon 4, wow, it even has like the full height little platform thing here that was missing in C64. Basically, they got together a small crew of original, like basically the same team, or some of the same team at least, that made the original arcade and NES games, made a new sort of kind of NES style game in Double Dragon 4. This is definitely not the type of game where I would, I mean, personally speaking anyway, would put any trust whatsoever. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, okay, continue. Yeah, it just spends a coin. Yeah. I would not put any trust whatsoever in, like, Metacritic for something like that, because I don't trust. Like I have such strong opinions specifically on beat 'em ups and kind of old type games and Double Dragon. Like there's so much that I know I wouldn't like trust almost anyone, honestly. But it is definitely a pretty underwhelming game. I think maybe the way it was marketed, the way it was sold, put different kind of expectations. I think a lot of people probably thought of it maybe as like, hey, it's the follow-up to Double Dragon Neon. It's called 4, so it's a big deal or whatever. Although many people probably were like, wait, wasn't there a 5 already? But it isn't a very remarkable game. I mean, I'm looking forward to getting to it after all these other ones. It's going to provide a lot of context. A lot of games to compare it to. Man, these guys are like boss scaled. So they've got pretty sick range with their swords. Oh, shit. Alright, this is where the run comes to die, huh? Man, probably just plane shift these guys also. But it's pretty hard to do when there's 3 of them at once. Yeah, I mean, like, if the idea of a Double Dragon 4 that's kind of an NES-style game sounds appealing to you, I won't say that it's as good as it could have been. Not by any means. But I wouldn't say that it's not worth a look. Oh, right, a spear in the wall, too. Yeah, let's go down here. No traps down here. Whoop. Oh, shit, they're already trying to fucking circle me here. Oh, yeah, I knew it. I guess I can't really, like, plane shift when there's no vertical range here. Well, at least they're not surrounding me anymore. Well, yeah, I can't really combo them. You most certainly cannot cancel your kick into a jump like in the arcade. You can't really cancel anything to anything in this version. Like, Double Dragon 4, to an extent, follows up on a lot of the things that I didn't already care too strongly for in the other NES games. It's got a bunch of platforming and stuff. It's got some nice pixel art, but for me, it was, like, even from the word go, it was kind of a disappointment in that the direction they chose to take for the game isn't something, like, if they've made a new game that, if they imagine what a Double Dragon 4 would have been like, that was like if Technos had made, I don't know, a follow-up to Return of Double Dragon, which was like the last original Technos developed mainline Double Dragon game. Basically either in the exact style of Return of Double Dragon or like just, I don't know. I feel like in 2015, you'd still. All right, I forgot that was a thing, but we actually didn't get hit. Nice. Because that was not in any other version. And like all the other home versions removed that. It was still at a point where like the default for doing like an old video game-esque thing is to like somewhat mimic NES style things. Obviously, those kind of games still exist. But we're seeing more and more kind of retro sort of titles have more of a 16-bit aesthetic to them, which obviously it's a lot more labor intensive, but it's an aesthetic that I personally have a much stronger fondness for. So either, again, just seeing a complete, like, reusing sprites from Return of Double Dragon, but with new levels or whatever, because Double Dragon 4 reuses a ton of sprites from Double Dragon 2. That would have made me so much more interested in the game, and like what they could do with the music and everything. But even regardless of that, the choice of approach for the project, it's just like not terribly well balanced. It's kind of like the actual NES Double Dragons. It's really difficult and frustrating and annoying. But you also have like special moves that are incredibly OP. Whereas like if you don't use them, it's super cheap. But if you do use them, like it kind of trivializes a lot. Alright, let's see if this guy's as much of a cakewalk as Bruce Lee. Oh, maybe not. Alright, we'll game over it. Okay, he just fell down 2 seconds after I hit him. But yeah, again, like for a game like this to have this many characters on screen without like terribly noticeable performance problems, it's pretty cool. I mean, 3 enemies on screen, you didn't see that in a lot of like Super Nintendo beat 'em ups. So from a spectrum, definitely nothing to sneeze at. A bunch of projectiles and shit too. I mean, I guess if the player 2 can join in right now, surely they must be able to have 2 players in addition to the 3 enemies. It's pretty impressive. But yeah, there's several games in the lineup that I've played but haven't played in a long time. For instance, both Neon and 4, which are like I guess the 2 games that a lot of people are kind of familiar with these days. I played both of them like at launch, and I've not played either of them at all since. So Neon I at least watched like a bunch of speedruns of for a good while after release. But my memory of both games is definitely pretty hazy. So not only is it going to be interesting to revisit them, by the way, this boss was not as easy as I'd hoped. I don't know why I would have thought that when there's fucking 3 of them, but whatever. Both in terms of just like playing the game for a first time in years. Oh wait, what the heck? There's like a weird Billy clone. I'm not sure what happened there. I just haven't played them in a long time, and revisiting them to kind of refresh my memory is going to be fun. But also having played all these other games and seeing how it actually compares. Oh yeah, right. I will say this is probably not my favorite looking stage. The amount of like detail in the ground and everything looks cool, but I think having the thick black outlines on the floor was probably a mistake, because it makes the enemies and yourself, for that matter, very difficult to make out. Oh, they even fucking punch you with their bows from like half screen. Oh boy, this is rough. I mean, maybe if you get the extra tricks and power up, which, by the way, I'm still not exactly clear on what it does. I don't know if it means that you do more damage or what. I mean, that's what I would assume. It's not like I've ever really noticed any difference. Like, this might be one of those games where it's easier if you 1cc it, otherwise you're screwed, because you get, like, power down with each death. Movement speed is so slow that it's hard to imagine being able to navigate around any of this stuff. And you just get, like, destroyed on wake up. You know, as long as you only have one enemy to deal with, it's fine. It's doable. But this, not so much. Didn't mean to jump kick there, but alright. You're sort of helped to a degree by them sort of piling up, because they're like trying to get into position. Because they don't generally try to... Well, okay, never mind. I was going to say they don't generally try to attack when they're like point blank, but I guess they do. But they still, see, even when they've got their back turned, they don't turn around as soon as like you are in range to hit you. Except when they do, I guess. They do try to walk past you to kind of get into a specific position. And you can kind of... Like, I think that's what was going on with Bruce Lee. He kept walking away because he wanted to walk past me to, like, his designated spacing to attack. And I was able to chase him down before he got there every time. But when you're being simultaneously assaulted by these other guys, that's kind of difficult. But I can see it being sort of doable. Like, I can see how you might learn the spacing and strats to get that down. And learning kind of to orchestrate dealing with multiple guys. Even if you walk extremely slow. Shit. Anti-aired. Alright, last credit. Would I recommend this version? I don't know. Not if someone were to ask, like, hey, what are some good Spectrum games? I mean, I would certainly recommend 2 over this, just because it's so kind of goofy and fun. I'd probably say that there's a Double Dragon 3, and it might be better than you think. But I also think that you got to be pretty predisposed to enjoy something like this. To enjoy it? Alright, this definitely slow down. Like, it definitely moves faster when there's only one enemy. Alright, we get to see the boss at least. But I can also picture a Spectrum version of Double Dragon 3 that is a lot worse than this. It's a cool statue. Wow, it goes on. Like, it's kind of weird. Each stage... Oh, yeah, look at all that detail. That wasn't in the C64 one. Oh, dude. The game's like chugging. He's by himself, though. That's a good sign. Oh, shit. I didn't mean to do that. Ah. Sluggish speed makes it quite possible to get a bunch of unwanted, unexpected inputs. Funnily enough, the collision seems more finicky with this guy. Oh, see, I'm like missing attacks that I wouldn't expect to miss. See, like it's hard to hit him for some reason. Maybe I have to be in front of him, because it seemed like I was like behind him every time I missed. Okay, one last... Oh, never mind. It was like we got one last hit, but nope. Game over. Great to hear you're not getting fatigued. The amount of games you mentioned you were going to play was startling. Had no idea there was even half that many. Keeps your perspective and thoughts less rushed. Yeah, I mean, that's like the kind of whole idea of doing this. Yeah, the whole idea of doing this came to me when we were playing River City Girls when that came out back in September. And I was pretty unhappy with that game. And a common sort of thread that kept coming back in discussions about that game was that like a lot of the complaints I had with it was like, well, that's what Techno's beat 'em ups always were like. You know, go back to any Double Dragon, you never had iframes, you never had this or that. See, this is just like those classic games, so it's good. And my argument was kind of that, well, you know, is that really how things work? Can we not evolve? Can we not try different things? And I think, you know, having played this many of the old Double Dragon versions, I absolutely think River City Girls has plenty of faults of its own that is completely unrelated to these games. But in any case, that just kind of gave me the idea to like, man, I just want to play old Double Dragon. It's been a long time. And as I kind of looked into it, because I think we're like, yeah, you know, there's Double Dragon 1, 2, and 3. There's Battletoads Double Dragon, Return of Double Dragon. Like, there's a bunch of games. It would be fun to kind of play all of them. And then I started doing a little more research. And it's like, holy shit, there's a lot more than I thought. There's a lot of these computer ports. It might be actually really interesting to see what those are like. And for several reasons, I pushed this off for like half a year. I had everything prepared to do it in like December, but I ended up not doing it until now, which I'm glad I've done, because now that I have time to stream, I can actually do this at kind of a relatively rapid pace. All right, I think we're done with this. It's just frozen. But yeah, it's super fascinating. I honestly expected that a lot of these versions would play for 2 seconds, would determine their trash, and just move on. And not only am I delighted that hasn't been the case, because I prefer fun games over not fun games, but also because I feel like I'm learning so much and I'm seeing so much that I don't know. I mean, I already love Double Dragon for being so varied and different, and like having so many different versions and interpretations by different developers. I just didn't realize how deep that went, I guess. So yeah, I've been loving this so far, and I see no reason why I would have any less fun with this moving forward. Let me get something to drink. All right, this leaves us with one last one last game PC port developed by Sales Curve, which is not going to be super exciting. You'll see what I mean. It's the Amstrad CPC port, which I think someone in chat alluded to with an, like, oh boy kind of attitude, which isn't completely unfair. Certainly, if you're an Amstrad fan, you'd probably not think super highly of this version, I could imagine. It's not all terrible, but it's also kind of unimpressive and unremarkable, which I'm sure you'll understand when we boot it up. All right, there's a bunch of different versions here. I guess we got some trainers, maybe. We'll find out. Let's boot it up. We got the exact same XOR crack intro here as with the Double Dragon 2, I think it was, on Amstrad. And of course, it's Amstrad, so it's all French. So we can go with the normal party and infinite credits, or both. Or I guess either just infinite coins or invincible and infinite time. I guess infinite coins is going to give us the closest to the true experience. So let's press number 2 on the keyboard. Aha! We can actually. Ooh, we might take him up on this. We'll depart from niveau 1 first, but we might reset to depart on a future niveau. All right, look at the title screen. Pretty sick. Looks pretty good. This looks kind of similar to a version we may have very recently played, does it not? Define the keys. Right, up, down. Fire, pause. This is, in fact, essentially a straight port of the Spectrum version with, as you can see, some slight changes here. It's got kind of a Neo Geo pocket color vibe. We can buy some extra guys here. We got no music, tricks, energy, power up. We actually do have infinite coins, proper infinite coins here. But yeah, not only is this just a straight port of the Spectrum version with a little bit of added shading to the characters here, it runs like complete dog shit. Like, it's so slow. Sound effects are alright. But, like, I don't know. I can't say with certainty that this is exactly how it would run. Computer emulation is a whole thing. And maybe this is just configured incorrectly. I have no idea. But like this, the CPC was a pretty capable system. This is dog slow on real hardware. Yeah, thanks. We got the pros in chat to let me know. That's awesome, by the way. Like I said, I played a significant amount of Amiga and Commodore 64 stuff in my youth. But I never really ever dealt with any other of these computers like Spectrum and Amstrad and Atari ST and BBC Micro or Acorn Archimedes or any of those systems. So anything like that, anything on any of those platforms is like a new experience for me. But it is cool to see these sprites with like a little bit more color. It's, you know, in a way, it's not necessarily an improvement aesthetically, because I think when everything is in black and white, it's like stylized to the point where you don't read it as black and white. It's just, you know, that's how it's been sort of simplified. But once you start adding more color, even though it still is kind of simplified, and I appreciate the readability obviously being vastly improved. Like the Italy stage is probably going to be fine. It also kind of looks like everyone is just orange now. But part of me would just love to grab these graphics and just like, for the hell of it, just colorize it just to see what it might look like. Like, again, I just really love this Billy sprite. It's so good. Obviously, there's not a ton of animation. It doesn't have a lot of different moves. Um, but it's like a slightly different flavor of that traditional chunky Technos look. Even though the actual Technos Double Dragon 3 doesn't look anything like this. Even the one Technos actually made, the NES version, has, you know, awesome sprites. I love the way the characters look in that version, but it's nothing like this. But yeah, I mean, if we were gonna get back to where we were in this version, it would take like an hour. So I don't think we're gonna bother. But can we do like a simple reset or something? Well, I guess we can just do this. Why don't we start on the final level with invincibility and just beat the last boss and see what that looks like. Number 3 for invulnerability and infinite temps. Trying to figure out if I can understand what it says there in the top text there. I don't know if anyone in chat reads French, but show the mode de control. It's something about the change in the control settings. I'm not sure. Maybe it's something about if you go to the control settings, you won't get the level control or like level select. So 9 could be the ending, because let's think here. Obviously, the arcade has 5. The C64 version had Egypt. 5 was Egypt 1, and then we had Egypt 2, Egypt 3, and that accounts for 7 stages. So maybe 8 is the final boss and 9 is the ending or something. It could also, of course, be that this version has more stages kind of split up like that. So maybe we'll try to depart on Niveau 8 and see where that takes us. The thing is, like, it's going to be so slow. Oh, yeah, this is game... Shit, I lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is perfect. This is Egypt 3, and this is where we died in the C64 version. No big alien head is out here to spit fire on us. So, but even if we do, oh shit, I didn't find my controls. Maybe that's what it said. Oh boy. Shit. Wait. Okay. Okay. All right, we got the controls. They're awkward as shit, but we got infinite health and time, so we can probably, hopefully, make this work. So yeah, we have to like walk down to this corner first here. We didn't make the jump. Is this an instant game over then? This is kind of what happened in the C64 version, just a little more confusing. Okay, the jump is like pretty short, so we gotta make sure to really get close to the edge of the platform here. Nope, we got a little too close to the edge. Man, imagine doing this and like struggling on your last credit to get this far. The fucking alien head isn't helping things. At least, you know, if we give this a few tries. Fuck's sake, he's like touching the edge of the brick with his toe. And it's enough. Weirdly enough, the alien thing doesn't come back. Or, I mean, maybe it's just because we died? I'm not sure. Are we losing coins for... No, we're losing health. Oh, there he is. Maybe... Oh, fuck's sake. I definitely didn't make the jump the first time. So I'm trying to get as close to the edge as possible. I was thinking, if you see, we go to the top of, as far up we can on the O panel. Technically, you should be able to get like a pixel closer. Well, we were able to jump. At least now I know what the alien does. I'm impressed that we seem to only take like 15 damage or something. We're not like losing an entire credit, which I think you probably do in the arcade. Fuck! Like, as soon as a single pixel of your boot touches the black line on the edge of that plate, like, you're done for. Alright, it's been so many tries now since I even got into the air and tried to land near the S that I've basically forgotten how close you can get. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, I could tell that. They probably realized how rough this was to control. Yeah, I mean, I guess we didn't actually die here, because in the versions where you have proper control, this part is easy. So I guess I don't know how this works. But given how, like, ruthless even the Japanese arcade version is otherwise, yeah, we're not gonna... See, we didn't even fucking get close. Do you need to jump kick? In fact, the input I'm doing, the button plus diagonal up, is like how you jump kick in the other versions. But is that going to somehow change your trajectory? Okay, I'm trying to mash space to see if I can get the jump kick. Maybe just like tucking his legs up during the jump makes his feet touch the floor later. Or maybe this room is just totally fucked in this version and you can't do it. Alright, let's see if we can practice a jump kick up here. On the floor. Otherwise, we can always reset and start on stage 9. Whoops, I almost did something stupid there. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess he still lands the same way. Alright, okay. Hold space? Nope, I gotta mash, I guess. There's no, like, running. It doesn't seem like walking can... I mean, if you look, just compare the floor. Like, it's pretty... Like, even at the top where the plates are just a little more narrow, it's like you can barely make the jump. So to get from the O to the S... I don't know, it still looks like... Still feel like the jump shouldn't be that hard. Just looking at how far you can actually jump. Ah! Sad thing you have another immediate jump. Yeah, well, I mean, if I at least don't have that alien dude literally breathing down my neck, it should be maybe not as bad. But I also think because... Oh, I see why I missed the jump. My fingers were on the wrong keys. Again, if you look at the perspective distortion of the shapes of the actual, like, plates or tiles, whatever, the distance between the S and the E feels like it should be ever so slightly shorter than between the O and the S. Oh, shit. I feel like that was probably as high up as I could go. Because, again, being closer to the top of it seems like it would... Because it definitely seems like the actual graphical borders... Like, it doesn't seem like there's a different sort of collision box. Ah! Well, except that I seem to die even before getting to the border, but... It doesn't seem like we would have a... I mean, maybe it's a straight line. What the fuck do I know? God dang it. I didn't even step off of it. Wait, hang on. Did we not get the RO? Well, jumping near the bottom of it was like the one time I actually made it, so I guess that's the new strat. Never activated the R. And why did it let us jump that far then? That's weird. So we probably didn't actually make the jump. I guess it's only when we activate the art that things... like, what happens if we just step on... Well, we died now. Well, no, we have 0 energy. Oh, okay, it's just the crack, I guess. No, never mind, we did die. Continue. Okay, no, it still does that. Then what the heck happened that one time? Alright, okay, I thought we were alive at the bottom of the pit there for a second. Still, in one way or another, we sort of, kind of seem to have maybe made that jump. Alright, at that time, it didn't seem... Yeah, gotta give the NES version credit. It didn't have this shit in it. I guess this room was completely missing in that version. Or was it? I don't remember. I mean, it wasn't like this if it was. That's for sure. I mean, it's got some jumping of its own, but... Okay, this might be it. Dude, I was fucking not even close to stepping off of this thing. I was kind of smack dab in the middle of the S, and somehow that's still... This is completely fucked. Imagine doing this. I mean, like I said, at least you don't lose a credit immediately, but, you know, you probably get here with like 40 health or something. There's no way I'm making that. What? I tried to jump, but he kept walking. Alright, I think we can pretty clearly conclude that the hitboxes don't quite match as precisely as I thought they might. Because we've definitely triggered the trap door, whatever you want to call it, when we kind of shouldn't have. And the other way around. See, we're like jumping from right in the center. And that somehow, like we made that jump. Is it a time thing? What's going on there? I feel like it must be. That's like even more messed up. I'm willing to give this a few more attempts before we just depart on niveau 9. I guess we kind of got... Yeah, see, you gotta jump from the very center of the S. In fact, you kind of almost have to be about as far to the right as you can be. Otherwise, you just trigger the trap. So it's kind of all about figuring out where the actual hitboxes are. Not like, hey, which letters do I need to stand on? But like, where can I actually stand? And like, you do the jump, but then the sprite like keeps sliding a pixel or two to the left as he's taking off. And nope, that's enough to trigger it. I'll see. I'll give it one more shot. Like if I can... Whoop, we didn't trigger the R. If I can make it to the T again. Yeah, let's just like not walk forward at all. See, I'm like hardly on the E. I don't think it's a time. I think I just need to be further to the right. But it does appear that if I land on the S and I'm alive, I'll just not try to walk at all. I'll just try to jump. Because clearly, we can still land on the E with like 1.5 foot on the wrong panel. Oh, that's questionable. Yeah, see? And I'll do the same thing here. In fact, I'll even do that. We did it, somehow. Not by following, like, what it looked like we should have done, but we did it. Now we have to fight 500 golems. And maybe Huroko before the... Oh, dude, look at how buff these guys are. I feel like I almost still want to reset the game and start on level 9. Because this is going to take so long. Never mind, I guess we killed him in one hit. Or what's going on here? Do they teleport? I'm matching space here. Come on, game. It's like not being very good at like actually accepting inputs. Oh, this is a complete nightmare to play. I mean, it's not Atari 2600 Double Dragon. We don't get killed in 2 seconds, but boy, is it not that fun. Yeah, the golems are collapsing under their own weight. Okay, yeah, they didn't die. They just fucking teleport. Okay. I guess. I think. Who knows? The actual number of them on screen seems to change. Like, I guess they pull a burn off and, like, fade out of existence when they die. I have no idea how many enemies there are. Like, maybe they just take 6 seconds to materialize when they teleport. But they don't seem to hit us very much, so... Well, actually, I guess we're invincible, right? I think we are. I guess when they're flashing on the floor, they're probably dead. Alright, I was just about to say that maybe the game speeds up a little bit with just one enemy, but no, another one showed up. Alright, we're... Oh, boy, can you imagine just doing the final boss? I mean, I guess in the Amiga version, we beat it, right? I'm trying to remember. In that version, the final boss didn't take that many hits. Like, the bosses seemed way weaker than in the arcade. That's probably true here also, but it's just that landing hits is so slow that it's still going to take a while. And the ending is almost assuredly not going to be worth it. If there is music, it's not going to be as good in this version as in the... Like, even Spectrum one, maybe? Like, it seemed like the Spectrum version had... Like, the Spectrum version had the shop music. This version seemed to have less music. Anyway, we're doing important archaeological work here, guys. So, you know, if we have to put up with a lack of sick hot jams for a brief moment, I think we'll survive. Okay, we got spooky sound effects, or half of one anyway. So, a lot of the computer ports for the parts 1 and 2 had some omissions. Like, several ports of DD2 had Machine Gun Willie be the final boss, with, like, Shadow Billy not even being a thing. Alright, doesn't... Alright, I was gonna say, so maybe there's gonna be stuff here where, like, we don't actually... Like, not every boss fight here at the end is included, but doesn't maybe seem to be a thing. So, if other versions are anything to go by, we are gonna have to kill these enemies, though. It's not gonna be enough to just kill Hidoko. Well, we can still kind of focus on... Well, we'll focus on whoever's standing up, I guess. Alright, even Punch is knocked down, I guess. Except... Alright, kicks typically do, but not when they don't. Man, remember in the arcade version, we can do that sick down attack and just fucking jump on him and knee him in the gut? That was satisfying. It would be nice to be able to do that here. And not just wait around for 5 seconds every... Oh, I didn't mean to jump. Every time we knock someone down. Well, I'm just glad we didn't decide to attempt to play this through with no cheats. Or even with cheats. Imagine just going through the entire game like this, even with infinite... Not just infinite health, but like... just full invincibility. I mean, obviously, this is no way to enjoy a game like this. It's just... reduces everything. But at the same time, like, it's this one in particular isn't much more fun when you... Just because you can't take damage. We can barely move, so it's not like you're gonna have a lot of strategic, like, fucking footsies. But it's more of an indictment of how the game isn't very good in the first place than any strong feelings one way or the other on this particular way of playing it. Makes me wonder what kind of QA went on back then. I mean, if you think about how many ports there are, like, these dudes probably, you know, basically got paid in lunch and had, like, a weekend to make 6 ports. Like, that's kind of how these things often went. So, wait, oh, I pressed the wrong key. I'm sure, and also I'm sure many of the developers oftentimes were like 19 or whatever. uh, didn't know or care, or I don't know. I'm just saying, that there might have been a limit to the amount of professional pride that went into this. That's a kind of cool color scheme. But more importantly, like the budgets and time and everything, like I'm sure, as is always the case, like when a game is bad, the people who made it are often the ones who are like more aware than anyone of its shortcomings. But it's just a matter of not having the resources to do much about it. Having said that, yeah, QA specifically, like talking about the difficulty balancing of some other versions, like it's there probably wasn't. I was kind of questioning why the NES game was so difficult, and it's like, yeah, I don't think that was, focus tested to figure out the difficulty balancing. It's probably like, well, whatever. They're the guys making it. They're good at it, so they enjoy that level of challenge, and then like that's it. Which is on one level definitely something I enjoy about games from like the 80s. All right, nice transition here. Actually, see, this is going by pretty fast. It's nice that the mummy never got knocked down. Makes it faster to just wail on him. Like if you read like developer interviews, like a lot of the time it's like two guys in a company, they're like, hey, this seems like a cool idea. And management's like, well, put a product out on market by April. And they're like, all right, cool, let's do it. And like that's kind of all that goes into it. Obviously, there's a lot to game design that just gets very, very much refined with time. And in sound and art and whatever. All right, that was quick. But that kind of boundless freedom to just kind of go, fuck it, this is what I want to create. The battle has ended. That's something that you, don't really see in games from bigger publishers. Heroes swore they would give Cleopatra's blah blah for charity when the third stone is found. Blah, 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 blah. Well, we got a picture of the treasure. We didn't get that in the NES version. Yeah, the NES port has a lot of cool shit going for it, but it's the difficulty balancing is just insane. The first stage is like the hardest stage in the game. Well, except the final boss, which is just completely ludicrous. We played through the NES game a couple of hours ago, and with significant, extensive use of save states, we kind of managed to do it, but loading level 8. What? Are we fighting the game backwards now? No, okay, it's just resetting because we set the game to start on level 8. Well, okay, the ending was probably not worth doing all this for. But hey, there's the Amstrad CPC version of Double Dragon 3. Oh, boy. Ugh. My ears are getting a little sore. Okay. So, that's it for the PC ports developed internally by the Sales Curve Interactive or whatever their development team was. But we have one more computer port, and that is the DOS version. And as I said previously, like I was thinking, like, hey, let's do that immediately following the Amiga version. But I just kind of had a brain fart because this is the correct time to do it. The DOS version is developed by a separate team and was not released alongside the other versions. If you recall, when we saw the credits for the C64 version, it actually listed the development teams, so like the programmers for each of the other ports, but it only listed the ones we already played, right? The DOS, not the DOS version. The Amiga, C64, Atari ST, Spectrum, or whatever. Because the DOS version was released in 1992, developed, like, I tried to do some research on this the other day to kind of figure out, because a lot of the times, especially for these, like, PC ports, there's a lot of different company names involved. Usually, you'd have a publisher get the license from Technos in this case, and that publisher might have their own internal development teams. So the Sales Curve had Sales Curve Interactive, which was their like internal development company. But if you look at companies like US Gold or Ocean, these like big computer game publishers, they often would, or I mean, this happened in console gaming too. You know, we saw the Sega published Master System port of Double Dragon 1 that was developed by Arc System Works. They were just, you know, hired guns for the development. So sometimes you had all these companies with their own teams and external teams, and to make things even more convoluted and confusing on the PC front, especially, a lot of these games were published several times over by different publishers for different regions, or sometimes in the same region. You know, you have whatever company put out a game in 1988, and then in 1991, some other publisher gets the rights to republish that exact same version under a different brand. And someone else does it in the UK, someone does it in Spain, someone does it in France. Like, it can get pretty complicated to figure out who's actually who made what, and who published what. So, the what I could kind of figure out. Give me a second here. I'm just gonna set up. No, okay. Lord Slackinator, rating with 56 folks. Welcome, welcome, Slackinator raiders. We're just getting set up here to play the DOS version of Double Dragon 3, the Rosetta Stone. Alright, we got a bunch of wolves, I guess. Looks like a wolf. Welcome, welcome, guys. Receive thine raid. I'm honored to have such a lovely raid bestowed upon me. Welcome, guys. Welcome, guys. Man, I'm trying to like read chat and react and type things in the window and explain a different story all at the same time. This isn't going well. 2 seconds, guys. All right, that's good. All right. Let me just get the windows on screen here. That looks good. And actually, let's just double check. Don't want that. Boom. All right, we're gonna get started in a second. Don't listen to the haters that Anzo was the best DD character. I don't know about that, man. I mean, he's got a pretty good jump. Other than that, he I don't know, man. Was he better than Billy? I don't know. Billy had the nunchuck. Otherwise, I think Chin definitely carried his weight the most. Just playing some DD2. Sick. So yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch of people here who have never seen my stream before. If so, welcome. I'm Jiggy. I stream a lot of random old retro shit. And I am currently in the middle of my Double Dragon series retrospective. Fixel Brumph is now following. What's up? Well done, and thank you for that. We're somewhat chronologically going through the history of Double Dragon, checking out as many different versions of each game as possible. This is our third installment where we're looking at all different versions of Double Dragon 3. Excellent. 10 versions all in all. Akira Television, thank you very much for the follow, and welcome. So far, we've played the arcade original, we played through the NES game, we played the Amiga, C64, CX Spectrum, Amstrad, and Atari ST versions. We're also now going to get into the DOS version before wrapping up with the Game Boy and Mega Drive versions. So we got a bunch ahead of us still. But if you're only familiar with the NES version, this might be interesting. One listen, Linda. Thank you very much for the follow. Yeah, so quickly, let me just set up some stream stuff here, because I don't want to be occupied with this as we boot up the actual game. So this one is for DOS, and the sales curve, as mentioned, had ported with their internal team all those other versions. From my understanding, Interactivision is the name of the company that was hired by the sales curve to develop this version. It was still published by them, but it has a completely different staff. So all those other ports were developed by Americans, but the team that ported the DOS version of Double Dragon 3 is a Danish team. So it doesn't seem to share any staff with any other version. So I'm interested to see if it plays closer to the other versions or closer to the arcade or what. So this version, hopefully I have everything set up properly, does support the Roland MT32 for the music, which, if you're familiar, you'll know that that means we're ready for some hot jams. Not something we really got a lot of in the DOS versions of Double Dragon 1 and 2, but y'all might not be ready for this. So hopefully this should be set up correctly. It might be loud as shit, but we'll see. So you can see, look at all those Danish names. This is a sick jam. Unfortunately, we don't get the full, like, wall-to-wall sick music of the arcade game. But compared to the fucking PC speaker nonsense of DD1 and 2, this is a pretty giant step up. I actually recorded this one on cassette. That's sick. Yeah, so Matti Nyrup, I guess, made this music for the MT32. There's an ad-lib conversion. We can play with like ad-lib sort of standard MIDI, but it sounds way worse than this. We might check that out just to see what it sounds like, but I might have to fuck around with because you have to use like an MT32 emulator, which is something I just learned how to do yesterday to set this up. Totally worth it. It sounds awesome, but switching between the different versions might be a little cumbersome. And yeah, the Rosetta Stone is the original title for this game. The North American and PAL versions of the NES port was renamed the Sacred Stones for whatever reason. And that's the only version, like in the Twitch database, that's the title. But the Rosetta Stone is the original title for the game. Will this be a YouTube series? I do have a YouTube channel. I'm very lazy with updating it properly. I will be highlighting everything so you can find it on my Twitch channel. But I know that browsing videos on Twitch is like a fucking nightmare. You can't find anything. So I want to put this on YouTube as well. But if you go on my YouTube channel right now, you're not going to find any of this stuff on it because I haven't put it there yet. The thing is, like, Twitch and YouTube are kind of different with some of the like content ID copyright stuff. I've had a kind of an annoying experience trying to put stuff like Twitch archives on YouTube previously. It's my intention to put it on there, but it might not be immediate. I don't have like a good discipline with porting stuff to porting. I'm just used to talking about all these ports. Of like exporting Twitch stuff onto my YouTube. Like my YouTube channel is pretty neglected. It's not. I don't update it super regularly, but you know, I noticed that like no one is going back to watch my Twitch stuff, which I understand. Like I said, browsing someone's channel for older videos on Twitch is kind of a nightmare. So yeah, I'll definitely try to get some of the stuff on YouTube. Saw some Czechs playing DOS NHL 94. Never even knew that existed. I mean, obviously EA started out as like a computer development company. Like, they did a lot of Amiga stuff, and I'm sure a lot of that stuff came out on DOS too. But yeah, that does sound weird, doesn't it? Anyway, guys, as sick as these jams are, let's see how the actual game holds up. I don't think we get to configure all that much, and it being a DOS game, we do not have a trainer or anything, but let's hit the enter key. Billy and Jimmy went on a journey to complete their martial arts. On their return home 2 years later, they met a fortune teller. Find the 3 Rosetta Stones, then go to Egypt. Find the world's strongest enemy, but where no one has come back alive. Alright, let's do that, I guess. Graphics, not bad. Dude, this version has fucking full-on diagonal wave dashing. That's sick. No other version has that. Alright, we got 14 coins. You can barely see which one's highlighted here. But let's buy some tricks. Dude, the diagonal wave dashing is sick. The other versions don't have it, and it kind of sucks. We get a shop theme. Not quite as funky as the Spectrum one, but pretty moody. Alright, so this version uses arrow keys, enter, and shift. It's got a nice equi hit sounds. Unfortunately, no music. Bunch of enemies on screen here. Let's, wait. How do I jump? Down. You can crouch. Can you crouch in other versions of this? Oh yeah, you hit both of them at once, right. You can kind of wave dash, I guess. Alright, we're like already dying here. Yeah, you can outrun them at least. Interesting, like when I first booted all these games up for 2 seconds just to make sure I had them running, I kind of assumed that like, alright, yeah, this is like the Amiga, whatever. But it's definitely not. Obviously, it's got the 2-button control scheme. It's got crouching. Yeah, you can do crouch. And yeah, you can do regular jump. Does it? Can I do the headbutt is the question. Oh yeah, we got time. Dude, you can fucking even wave dash when scrolling. That's like an improvement over the arcade. Shoutouts to Power Records. This game doesn't really have the elbow. There is a sort of elbow that you can only do when enemies are stunned. And stuns don't work the same way as in 1 and 2. Ah, that's our first life. Continue. But rather when enemies are like... Oh yeah, we don't have tricks anymore. Shit, I don't have the... We lost the spin kick. Oh, man, I wish these ports were based on the Japanese version so we don't have to deal with that nonsense. Of course, we've got no iframes on anything. Jump kick's pretty good in this version, though. The spin kick is definitely a powerful move. But you do have a super weird jumping headbutt thing that you can also only do after you buy the tricks. You do jump and punch in the arcade. I'm not sure if you can do it in this version, and if so, how. Oh, this is a nice version where it's like easy to actually jump kick these guys off. In some of the versions, I got hit like 20 times trying to get the timing right. Yeah, you have like the running clothesline. Oh, boss is just chilling up there. Like, this easily feels like the most arcade faithful version. I mean, it's still a little weird. It's 2 buttons instead of 3. But it seems more faithful to how it controls. I mean, especially with the movement. But you can see there, he does the same kick. Normally in the arcade, he will do like a slightly higher kick, the second kick. But it's closer to the arcade than the Amiga version is. That's a Bobo. Not exactly. This game's kind of weird. So the original arcade Double Dragon 3, which this is based on, was not developed by Technos, who created Double Dragon. It was outsourced to a different company called East Technology. And that probably explains why it's such a departure in terms of game mechanics and visuals and all that other stuff. And the story gets a little crazy. And one of the things that makes it different is, of course, that like none of the characters, it doesn't really have any like Double Dragon characters in it. We do get a health refill. That's nice. Let's buy tricks and let's try to buy a power up. See if we get any difference. Yeah, visually, I would put this kind of on par with the Amiga, but maybe slightly more colorful. The Amiga was a little more drab. Does this have more enemies on screen? No, I think the Amiga also had like up to 3 enemies. The speed, I'm sure, is, I guess it's up to whatever cycle settings we have in DOSBox, but running this at the default 300 cycles, like it feels similar in pacing to the arcade. Also, I like that they yeah, let's wave dash. It's kind of easier to wave dash on keyboard. So I'm running this in a tiny little DOSBox window, and I've for the stream capture, I've done the aspect ratio correction because it's running in 320 by 200, which obviously is wider than 4:3 resolution, but it would have been designed to be played on a 4:3 monitor. These guys have to like catch up, and I can tell when I look at my stream preview that like when it's aspect ratio corrected, it looks remarkably close to the arcade, the proportions and everything. But that's not always the case. I mean, we played the Mega Drive port of DD1 where they fucked that up, where it's like running in higher resolution than the arcade, but with the arcade proportion sprites, so everything is like too skinny looking. And a lot of the times, like you do get games where the visuals are kind of designed for square pixels. Nice. But then when you stretch the 320 by 200 screen to 4:3, it looks kind of fucked up. But this, like, they actually did it right. It looks the way it should. I'm just kind of mashing jump kicks. Oh yeah, I do have tricks. I forgot about. No iframes. Nope. Doesn't work. Shit. Well, I wanted to try the headbutt, but it would have been wasted on this guy, because... Let's see if he actually brings out the tonfa. He didn't in the other home versions. He does in the arcade, of course. Nope, he didn't. Let's say burn off. Yeah, I don't think any... Yeah, Jick is the Mr. T looking guy in Double Dragon 1, by the way. And there's like blue Jick. Or I guess it's the blue Abobo in the NES version. Or green, or whatever color he is. Bolo and O'Hara are the guys in 2. But yeah, this game doesn't really have any like actual Double Dragon characters in it. Well, Billy and Jimmy, but as far as villains go, there's like no Williams, no Linda, no Bobo, no Chintai. Although the NES version, I guess, has Chintai's brother. The samurai guy just did a wall jump. Okay, I'm trying to do wall jump here. I guess that's not a thing. Whoa. Ah, shit. God damn it. Yeah, the enemies are all... Like, Roper is, of course, the enemy. Also the other kind of basic dude. Ah, shit. Oh, I guess... I didn't really think about it, but I guess buying energy is kind of preferable to just dying and using a credit, because if you buy energy to fill up, you get to keep your tricks. But I don't think you get 250 energy for one coin, though, like you do when you just die. Recall this having an actual decent built-in limiter. Played it on a Pentium 3. Don't think it ran at hyperspeed. Yeah, I imagine so. I mean, for these like relatively simple, like those other, at least anyways, like 80s DOS games, like 3,000 cycles is like a lot. I think Double Dragon 1 on DOS, like we ran it at like 1,000 and it was much more normal. Okay, I fucked up. I kept trying to do the spin kick, completely forgetting that I don't have it. So I kind of wasted a whole life screwing that up. But like, yeah, I mean, compare this to, say, the Spectrum version. You don't get nearly as overwhelmed by these enemies. Yeah, this is a later game. Like, I'm not sure if I would use the word given with DOS gaming. But I guess 1992, by that point, like, we're far removed from the Wild West of 80s DOS gaming. Ah! Dude, I even anti-aired his jump kick. Like, hitboxes seem more generous here. Like, it's easier to not get totally screwed over. This is a more civilized platform now. Yeah, and speaking of civilized... oh yeah, okay, we didn't have the falling door. Yeah, it's similar to the Amiga version and stuff of like what kind of stuff they cut those little set piece esque parts here. 8 credits. Is it going to be enough to deal with Ninja over here? I guess this is Lanzo. I mean, he's the boss of stage 3 in the NES game. Dude, like being able to jump kick them out of their jump kicks, like no other Double Dragon lets you do that, I feel. I love that you get those double. Like you gotta kind of screw up to even get hit by their jump kicks. I keep thinking they whiff because there's like no sound effect. There's just the like of the sword. But nah, I got hit. Alright, 7 credits. This feels like kind of doable. I mean, we'll see if we get to the Last Crusade room. Alright, his sprite looks a little shit. There's like a lot of color missing. Honestly, it looks... I wonder... I have to assume, almost, thinking about it, that this, like, just reuses graphic from the Amiga version. It doesn't necessarily look fully identical. Some of the color choices look a bit different. But, like, doesn't this look weirdly... Like, the colors look kind of truncated for a VGA game. Alright, the real fight starts now. Oh, satisfying. Like, the way the ninja, there's, like, highlights, like, the shading just doesn't look right. This doesn't look like a 256 color game. So I wonder if they already had these, like, modified, less color versions of these sprites. Because, again, even if it was a different development staff, it was published by Sales Curve, or, like, they were kind of the company that hired the developer. So they probably would have had access to the... Wow, I just punched him out of the air. They probably would have had access to all the assets from the Amiga and Atari ST versions. I was kind of joking when I was saying, like, I wonder if my credits are going to be enough to beat this boss, but they might not be. Lack of music is kind of comes with the territory for PC ports like this. I agree that obviously having it would be nice. And, you know, for a PC game with, like, roll-in support, like, Amiga, it was not uncommon to just have one or the other, sound effects or music. Like, I guess, like, the way this is sort of programmed, it's using... I mean, it's basically using the music... The sound effects are essentially music. I guess it wouldn't have support for, like, samples on top of this. God damn, I'm getting demolished. But it would have been nice for sure. Ah. Wow, we even took, like, 50... Actually, 80 damage on that last coin. But the third boss is definitely... I mean, I have no illusions of being able to beat the game like this. But in several of the other versions, that boss is like one of the worst parts. And again, we definitely struggled with these guys on Spectrum. Yeah, the range of their fucking bows. Oh, that was my bad. Yeah, it's a little uncomfortable. I think it's a fine compromise in terms of, like, the port. But it's a little weird that the HUD is so, like, basically missing. It's like one row of text. Even in the arcade version that has, like, big red numbers, just the fact that the HP is in numbers instead of a life bar makes it kind of a little hard to read. Like, you can definitely lose, like, a third of your life without noticing it. And it kind of, it's even worse in this. Like, I feel like you start with 250 life. Anytime I glance up at my life bar, it's like, oh, I'm at 10. Whoops. Like, where'd my life go? Alright, this seems reasonably effective. Well, nothing's perfect. But yeah, so in the arcade version, the in the US/world release, they have the dumbass system that this is based on, where you insert actual, real, hard-earned cash, and you spend the coins, your actual real money, in an in-game shop to buy extra guys, to buy tricks, to power up your character, or just to get health back. The system was not well received, so when the game was released in Japan, they changed it so you just have your moves. The shop was just taken out entirely. Unfortunately, because these are all Western developed for the Western market, they were based on the Western arcade port or arcade version, meaning they have the shit shop system intact, which also means that as soon as you lose a credit, wow, this guy was fast. If you have bought the tricks, you just lose them. If you've bought power up, which I guess I don't even really know what it does, you lose that too. Oh boy, this guy's hard to hit in this version too. Maybe, maybe not. Like, I assume power up means you do more damage. It's just like I haven't really been able to do any kind of testing. Doubles up the speed of all your attacks. Interesting. Huh. It's just improved frame data. Alright, rip in peace. So I'm assuming in the Japanese version that you probably have that all the time too? Or it's just not there? Okay, okay. Even so, just having your full move set is, you know, pretty nice. Let me check something real quick here. Okay, I just wanted to go on FAQ, game FAQs to see if there happen to be any cheat codes or anything for the DOS version of Double Dragon 3. Sadly, no such luck. Pay 3 credits to get full moveset and power up. Japan settled for the middle ground, getting normal speed but all moves. Yeah, that's fine. It's really missing the moves that's the big deal. Although it's weird here too, because I don't even know if you still have the full moveset. The stun system seems to be completely missing in this version, so you don't get the suplex or the elbow. Which is definitely fun. It's a weird system for grappling, but grappling was always a little strange in Double Dragon, honestly. But yeah, the jumping headbutt or the Frankensteiner with Sunny, those things are really fun to use, so it really sucks not having those as just like part of your kit. Funnily enough, my critique to how the system is handled is actually very simple, or very similar to the critiques I have towards modern beat-em-ups with upgrade systems and RPG mechanics and shit, where letting your character level up through play and gaining new abilities can work in a beat-em-up. Like, I generally don't like it, but you can make it work. But an absolute prerequisite for it working is that the initial kit that you have when you start doesn't feel incomplete. And in this game, that's the problem. If you play the American version, you don't have the spin kick, your moveset feels incomplete. I mean, there's a lot of other reasons why it's bad too. But yeah, the Japanese version is definitely the superior one. And it's a shame that these versions aren't based on it. I mean, it wouldn't have made a gigantic difference necessarily. But if this just flat out didn't have the shop and you just had, you could pick characters and you had 15 lives or whatever, it would definitely have been better. I wish this had a trainer or cheats to give us more coins so we could more easily kind of get through more of it. We got to stage 4 though, the boss of stage 4. Stage 5 is pretty long and challenging, so it's not like we almost cleared the game. But even so, some of the other like the DOS Double Dragon 1, we definitely struggled just beating stage 1. To the music. Kyoku Sagani. Thank you for the follow. But unlike Double Dragon 1 and 2, where the DOS version is like a strictly, clearly inferior version of the Amiga port, this one, I think, is one of the best ports we've played today. I feel like it's closest to the arcade out of all of them so far. And, I mean, this music, the Roland MT32, man, so fucking sick. 'Cause, 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 Honestly, I don't think I want to get like. I would love to see the this version to the end, but I don't think I really want to try. You know what? I'll try one thing in particular. I want to see if I can get the headbutt working. Um, let's go buy some tricks and power and see if we can figure out a way to get the headbutt working. I'm just curious to find out if it's in this version. Since we're not doing a proper attempt, we might as well buy a couple of sunnies. Oh, I have like lives on the left there. 3 Billy. We got 3 Billies. So in the arcade, you press jump and then punch. So I'm going to mash. And in this one, you press up, forward, and punch to jump. And you can't, like, you press punch and kick to do that. And if you run forward or walk forward. Actually, does this game have running? It does not. Arcade version has running. Every other version removes it. So it's clearly not. We clearly do not have the full. Actually, do we have the down attack? Doesn't look like it. There's crouching. That's so weird. You can crouch, but you can't seemingly do anything from the crouch. So if I had to guess, I would say the headbutt's probably not here. But one of the versions, was it the ST version? There was one version where you, in one of the versions where you press down and fire to do the spin kick, I was mashing down and fire, and suddenly I did the headbutt once, and I have no idea how I did it. So maybe it is in here, just it's weird as hell to do. 3 Billy, yeah. Billy Barehands, aka 3 Billy. Remember that movie, 3 Billy? Weird whale movie? Anyway. Alright. Well, I can't figure out for the life of me any way to do a headbutt, so... Alright, you got the little wall jump kick. The movement's a little weird. Even the conveyor belt is full grid-based. I respect that. Time to move on, I think. Hey, who's running the stream here? You or me? Jokes aside, I don't think I have a strong argument there. I think I agree. I think it's time to move on. This gets close to being like a really good port, but I think as it stands, it's like a not bad one. I just want to see if I can trick this guy to fall down. All right, let's just do this ourselves instead. Oh yeah, I was like, wait, loading? All right, we're sunny now. I guess I can show this for 2 seconds. We also don't have tricks, so no spin kicks. Too sunny, too furious. That's this guy. 12 feet tall. Wrestler or whatever the fuck. Alright. Let's abort Mish. We got 2 versions. Man, I was so worried that the arcade and NES version took like 4 hours to play through to satisfaction. I was worried that we would have would kind of run out of time to play these other versions, but we only have 2 versions left, and we've only been streaming for just under 9 hours. We have the Game Boy version and the Mega Drive version. I want to save the game, or the Mega Drive version rather, for last. I don't know exactly the time frame here, but it makes sense. The Game Boy version is the final version that was made by the sales curve. So we're going to do that. Just thinking for a second here what I'm going to do about controllers. Screw it. I have the Xbox controller hooked up. Let's just use that one. Give me a sec here to get my emulator sorted, and we're going to update the stream info in a second. Let me just boot it up. Change the Game Boy. Double Dragon 3, America version. That's more correct. There we go. Produced by the Sales Curve. What's this? Like, we get brand new original theme songs with every port from these guys. Game number 9, and for now, or for once, I should say, we actually do have different cover art here. More actual full-on unique cover art for the Game Boy version. Boom. Maximum greaser Billy and Jimmy here. Full on renegade levels of 50s tough guys. So this one also came out in 1992, a little bit later than the other computer ports. From what I can tell, this version also had was developed like internally by the sales curve. So I'm not sure. I think even the let's say, did that C64 version that had credits for all the other versions? Did it have credits for this one? I don't remember. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get to see credits of this one. So this version, the Game Boy version of Double Dragon 3, I have literally not even booted up. I've never seen this version, so I have no idea what to expect. All those other computer ports, emulating computers is such a jungle, let's say, that let's boot it up a little bit. That I feel I need to boot up each game individually to make sure I can get it to run. Even then, having done that, we've had troubles in the past where we got a game to boot up, but then we didn't get past a load screen or whatever. But Game Boy's Game Boy, it's whatever. I know it works, so I didn't actually try this one. So I really have no idea what to expect. Let me pour my last few drops of water here. So weird that it has completely different music. Anyway, let's press start to play. Oh, it is like scrolling? Alright, that's pretty nice. Alright. So far, so similar. A little rough looking, but hey, it's Game Boy. This will take you to Egypt. That's a little different writing. Hiroko looks creepy as ever. But beware, no one has come back. Like, I like that the dialogue is like slightly rephrased. That's a pretty decent Billy portrait. Oh shit. I can't. I have to like mash. What the fuck's going on with the walking controls here? Did they take the wave dashing to extreme levels here? What the hell? This cannot be right. Nice Unga jump pose. What the heck? I can walk for like 1 pixel per button press. If I try to wave dash here, it kind of works. Because I'm doing like repeated, like diagonal inputs. What the? What? I can't even jump. I have to do like frame perfect button inputs. I mean, menus work just fine. We have 2 coins. That's not a lot. Do we have maybe lives in this version? I didn't pay attention. We got a bunch of shit up there, whatever that means. I mean, I literally just configured my controls. And I've never had any problems like this in this emulator before. I'll try a different controller if I think it... you know, try to... Like, yeah, it responds to my inputs. It just, like, stops responding after a single frame. Punch, kick. I can press both of them to jump, but... Okay, you can jump, kick. We couldn't buy tricks, could we? I was too distraught by the controller situation. I mean, let's try to rebind it to keyboard. Oh shit, I fucked that up. Yeah, no different. Yeah, not supposed to work like this. No, DSF, it's nothing like... It's just the way MenDefend... Like, whenever you do inputs, you are allowed to create multiple different inputs for each... Like, I can have multiple B buttons or whatever, but if you press the same button, it, like, that triggers it to move on to the next input. I've used this emulator for dozens, if not hundreds of games, and I've never had issues with the controls. So, it's not that. It's just I've never experienced it in any other game. Obviously, it's like a bit fucked, and we can't really reasonably say that we can experience this game properly. But on, like... How funny is that, though? Here I was talking about, like, oh, I don't need to try Game Boy games. It's just Game Boy games. This'll just work. And we run into the fucking one Game Boy game that is all fucked and doesn't work. But the amount of kind of troubleshooting I might have to go through to possibly get a different emulator working is not something I would really like to do on stream. I'm gonna have to take a break before we move on to the Mega Drive game regardless, so maybe I can take 2 minutes during the break and see if I can figure something out. But this is kind of an interesting port still, like for a Game Boy Double Dragon that isn't like a Techno's platformer beat 'em up. Also, yeah, we just get like 8 lives. Which we're probably gonna need to even get through this stage, especially with controls not working. Like, it got smooth movements, 3 enemies on screen, runs at full speed. The sprites, I think, are pretty bland. But it's not ugly. The backgrounds look pretty great. Like, honestly, you know, given the quality of most of the computer ports, I didn't have high expectations of this. Not to say that this necessarily has exceeded those expectations, but in fairness, I can't really judge it when I can't control it properly. But, like, yeah, the basic moves seem awkward, and you seem kind of limited. Let's... Yeah, we can buy power-up and a weapon. But, yeah, it doesn't seem like you can... I can't figure out a way anyway to do any spin kicks or any other moves. Maybe this is the version you play to really practice those wave dashes, huh? The diagonal wiggle dashing. Oh shit, there's guys left. But I don't think... I mean, I think visually, like... It looks like it could be... Like, if you saw images of this or just saw a video, like... Oh yeah, it's a good-looking Game Boy game. But I feel like I can tell... Even with the... wonky controls obviously not functioning the way they should. It doesn't play as good as it looks. Do we get any bikes here? Oh boy. Unfortunately, yes. They seem kind of out of scale here, so I'm struggling to actually jump high enough. Also, I can't get the jump kick to come out for some reason. Like, you press A in midair to do the kick, but I guess it's, like, really sensitive to where in the jump height. Like, it's stuff like that. Even when I'm trying to do it in place, I'm not even touching the D-pad. I'm just trying to jump and then kick. I struggle to get it to come out. Which is like, yeah, the spin kick seems to work like that. In most games. Which is fine, that's clearly deliberate. But not the normal jump kick. I didn't have this much trouble before. I can get it, but... There we go. Fucking finally. Alright, there's probably one more, right? I have actually got the jump. Dude! The kick doesn't come out. Oh, boy. Oh. You're flashing, but you're not actually invincible. You just get knocked down immediately. And you can't get the jump kick. This is worse than the NES version with all the fucking dropped inputs. Can't get the jump kick to come out. I'm mashing. Why do I move like a crippled person? No idea. But for some reason, any directional input only like lasts for 1 frame. I hold a direction and he moves for 1 frame and then he stops. And when I press the kick button in midair, oh, I can stand on the crate. That's cool. The kick just doesn't come out anymore. Oh, there we go. Even if I use like the turbo fire button, like, alright, I think I did some kind of double jump. I'm getting hit in mid. Like the controls are. I mean, obviously with the walking being clearly not the way it's meant to function, I can't judge any of this. Say the controls are bad, because there might be other glitchy things not working properly. But this is really weird. I've never experienced anything like this. Like, I've played through multiple Game Boy games on this emulator. Never had any issues with it. There's an uppercut move. I mean, that's interesting, because that's not in any other version. But it also doesn't really help me if I can't fucking walk. Oh boy! Conveyor belt's a bit of a threat. Yeah, like standard punches and kicks is like the only thing I can. Like those, you know, they respond just fine, no problem whatsoever. Yeah, we're pretty dead here. Yeah, I mean it's obvious that this is not the way this is supposed to be, but I'm just confused because I've played games on emulator for like 25 years, and this particular kind of issue is not something I've ever seen. Alright. Wait, select to disable music? Or is that like an in-game instruction? I was just curious. Anything to try that might change anything. Select switch music on off. Okay. Okay, yeah. It's just full on. Press select to disable music for the proper sales curve experience. But like, yeah, you still get kind of overwhelmed here. But given that it's obvious that the some of the controls don't work properly at all, I'm inclined to believe that the jump kick issue is similar, that it's not meant to be like this. I mean, yeah. It's not really worth spending any more time on this, is it? That's highly unfortunate, because this was one of the versions I was most curious about, having not seen like a second of footage of it. And aesthetically, it's not bad. It's got its own weird soundtrack. Well, like I said, I need to take a little bit of a breather to stretch my legs, refill my drink and all that before we move on to the Mega Drive version. So I'm going to take maybe a 3-minute longer break than I would otherwise to just very quickly check and see if I have another reasonably easy to set up way to play the Game Boy game in another emulator or something. And we'll just give that a shot, maybe. No promises, but if I can do that, I would like to do that just to see if we can play it better. But if not, we'll move on to the Mega Drive version. Unfortunate, but hey, these things happen. So I'm going to AFK for a little bit. But see you guys in a couple of minutes.
the face with the 1-inch punch. All my enemies gonna get rocked like the way I rock the party till the doors are locked. My fist flies up, make you hurt a bunch when I hit you in the face with the 1-inch punch. All my enemies gonna get rocked like the way I rock the party till the doors are locked. My fist flies up, make you hurt a bunch.
All right. I do have RetroArch, which guess I had installed. I kind of hate RetroArch because it's so fucking convoluted to do anything in this emulator. But it appears I have stuff installed here, so I'm going to try to boot this up and see if we can get it to work. Huh? Okay, I thought I had... give me a second. Jesus Christ. Maybe we can't get this to work after all. How do I... Nope. I realize you can't see anything on stream. I want to see if I can just get this to boot up. Oh, yeah. Wait, what is it? Okay, I think I see what the issue is. Give me a sec here. I guess it doesn't like, maybe not? Let's do this. Like scan. Oh, wait, what the? Oh, never mind. Yeah, what is the deal here? It's not showing up. Bear with me for a second as I try to figure this out. I should have to do this, but we'll try it anyway and see if maybe it'll work. Failed to load alright, it just won't run. Let me just try to boot something up. Okay, I thought I had Game Boy Core for RetroArch installed. It says it's installed. Whatever it is, it's not... It's, failing to load anything. Let me just... Alright, I hate RetroArch. It's impossible to set up to get it to work. For whatever reason, it's not letting us load Game Boy games. So who would have thought that freaking Game Boy Double Dragon 3 would give us so much trouble? Like, we get every weird ass computer port to work, but not the Game Boy one. Oh well. All right, give me a second. Well, this might take a minute, so let me get some more music going here. I have to sit here in complete silence. Let's go full arcade stick here, because if the controls are like the arcade, I'm gonna want to have the arcade stick here for the Mega Drive version, even if it's not quite faithful to the original experience. Apologies for this being a giant mess, but if I'm being perfectly honest, I kind of expected some kind of train wreck like this far sooner. It's it's somewhat incredible to me that we managed to get through several of these streams with as little trouble as we've actually had. Well, that's all we got to see of the Game Boy one, sadly. Let's check out the Mega Drive or Genesis version here. So this one was sales curve had nothing to do with this, and neither did Technos, I suppose. This version was only published in the North American and PAL regions. It's the only... Well, actually, no. I guess 2 is the only one that actually came out in Japan. 1 was also a weird America-only release that actually came out after this one. This one was published by Flying Edge, which was one of Acclaim's label, so it's an Acclaim release. Acclaim did publish the Game Boy one also, I guess, but the sales curve did the development for it. This one was ported by Software Creations. Software Creations, a British company that did a bunch of other beat-em-ups and stuff. They developed Maximum Carnage and Separation Anxiety. They created Spider-Man X-Men Arcade's Revenge and some other Marvel games. And they were often kind of a hired gun. They actually did also the port for Double Dragon 1 after this for Ballistic, I guess, published that one. And that port was actually really quite good. So I have high hopes for this. I mentioned earlier today that in my vague recollection of this port, which I have played in the past, I always thought of it as a good port of a bad game. My opinions on the arcade game is actually they've gone through a little bit of a transformation even throughout the stream today, and it's kind of gone up. Like, my estimation of the arcade game is more positive now than I think it was a day ago. What that will mean for the Mega Drive version remains to be seen, but Software Creations, I mean, I don't think necessarily super highly of them as, developers of high quality beat 'em ups, but hey, they're capable of good stuff every now and then. The port of Double Dragon 1 was good. So let's see how this holds up. And yeah, the mysterious final boss music in the first room of NES Double Dragon 3. Double Dragon 3, the arcade game, as this version is called. Spooky intro. Start to play. Yeah, it's got like the super generic instrumentation. So Tim and Jeff Fallon did a lot of stuff for Software Creations, but I don't think Tim Fallon, the only original Mega Drive soundtrack he did was Time Tracks, and that was never released. And most of the Mega Drive games they ported had very unremarkable soundtracks. With definitely very plain sounding instrumentation, and this sounds like it's much the same. But once again, it seems like we have a brand new original soundtrack. which is fascinating. There's like no end to the unique Double Dragon 3 soundtracks. I guess we're kind of getting spoiled a little bit here with the attract mode. We have to press A, B, and C simultaneously for the option screen. That's kind of unique. But it looks to me like this version is kind of similar to... Ooh, nice. We can go up to 25 coins. That's kind of generous. 15 is the lowest. Much like Software Creations, the port they made of Double Dragon 1, this one also seems to have basically completely redrawn graphics. Like, it's all done based on the original arcade graphics, but it's all, like, added kind of texture and detail. Interesting. The start men. We can start with Billy and Jimmy, or Ronnie and Sonny, Seme, Taime, or Masao and Nunio. Not Kunio like in the arcade. Nunio. Kind of interesting. You can just pick characters. It feels really ghetto that this is this like grafted on. It's like we're in a test mode dip switch settings menu or something. It doesn't feel like a proper video game options menu, especially not having to do like a code to access this screen. But hey, we get options. That's more than you get in most other versions. But let's start. Complete silent. The fucking gradient in the back looks a bit shit, to be honest. Like, there's a lot of added gradients and texture. Wow, okay, she doesn't look very good. What the heck happened to her head? Weird. Like, it doesn't look fully traced. Hey, it's like the actual music. Kind of unremarkable instrumentation, but it's still a dope song. They can't fuck it up that bad. The mixing is a little bit weird, though, with sound effects being so quiet. Hey, with actual voice grunts. Look at that little portrait of Billy, by the way. Getting passport photo. The music is a bit fucked. Also, hit detection. This is not a good port of a bad game. This is a not good port. Hey, you can run, actually. They didn't get the sprites for it, but you can run. I started a clothesline. Yeah, see? Looks a bit shit, but... There's a lot of animation missing. Yeah, we're, like, dead. Wow. Music doesn't change. Wow, this art looks good, though. Alright, we got some extra guys. Tricks and power-up. I can't buy energy in this version. So that was a complete fucking waste. I just bought moves and shit when I have, like, 5 HP. No, wait. I got 300? Okay, I'm not sure how I did that, but that's fine. So... how do I do the fucking spin kick? Not like in the arcade, that's for sure. Or any other... oh, there we go. Up and kick. Fucking British developers. I don't jump and kick. I press up and kick to do this. Alright, we got the spin kick at least. We got the spin kick at least. Yeah, the graphics are all different from the arcade. It's not bad looking, but it's like not great looking either. The characters look worse for sure. It's interesting that like that this would be so different looking from the other versions. I was not expecting that. Oh, shit, I was like hoping that this would be like the superior version, but it kind of isn't at all. You get iframes when standing up. That's very kind, though. I do like that. Expert jukes from the dudes, though. Question is, do we have the headbutt? Okay, I think I just punched him. Alright, can do wall kicks. Oh no, motorbikes. Well, I guess we get iframes, but they... wow, okay. Shit, I just wasn't ready for which way he's gonna come from. Alright. Dude, the iframes actually saved me there. A load time there. There's a nice kind of texture detail. But yeah, like having iframes on Wake Up, that's a freaking revolution for a Double Dragon game. This guy looks pretty decent. Yeah, you just do that on Wake Up. That's nice. Alright, rip. That's our first life gone. Alright. Roni, you're up. Yeah, we don't have any tricks. I didn't get to try if I had the headbutt. I mean, I tried to try, but I couldn't figure it out. Oh, yeah, this... Oh, holy shit, we're dead. That was very quick. How much damage did this guy do per hit? 40? Yeah, it's like... solid 20%. The first stone is in China. The battle is waiting for you, Double Dragon. Like, no punctuation. Oh, this is a rough port. Far more so than I expected. I mean, there are parts of it that are kind of competent. Again, how much would I expect of Software Creations? Maybe not an absolute ton, but even so. Yeah, we'll get the tricks. I guess the power-ups... Wait, hang on. Why do I have 25 coins again? Do you get 25 coins per stage? Per credits? Is credits separate from coins? Well, let's just spend all of them then, I guess. Well, the weapons are kind of shit, so maybe not, but... I'm confused. Are there any other numbers on screen? No, just coins. If you get 25 coins per stage, that's pretty generous. I definitely spent coins. Oh, we got it. Down plus kick. They somehow made it look even goofier in this version. I love it. I will say, you know, being very unfair and difficult, you know, hey, if the game actually gives you this many coins per level, like, maybe it's alright. Alright, let's go Chin. Alright, he doesn't have tricks. I guess we need to spend more coins to get his tricks. Yeah, dude's like anti-airing you with the punch. This is like the exact opposite of the DOS version where you can just jump kick dudes out of their jump kicks. Might as well. Oh, well, let's get an extra guy. I'm just curious to like spend a lot of coins just to see what happens on the next stage. Oh shit, he's got the fucking Raiden torpedo. No belly flops here. Hey, the tree in the foreground? That's like not in any other version. I mean, it's in the arcade, but it's not in any other port. The spin kick, too strong. Oh yeah, he's got the down and kick for the butt slam. Hey, having the run is nice. I wonder if you need... I can't remember if I had the... If I bought the tricks to be able to do the running move. Alright, we got Bruce Lee here. You can like... Oh, dude. Outrange you with most stuff, but... just jump over him. That move seems pretty good for this. I wonder if you want to... Oh, shit. I'm already dead. Dude dies so crazy fast in this. I guess you probably can still... Nice. You get iframes on Wake Up, but not on a new life. Oh, nice. That was like half health. Alright, we did it. After finding the first stone, the heroes went to find the second. I mean, that's what you do, I guess. Checks out. Mission 3. Japan. Alright. $19 coins. Okay, so you get a few coins back. I guess I only spent 2 coins on the first stage, so that's why we... I see. Still, that's still more generous than in the other version. Yeah, Yeah, but this is a pretty fucking ghetto version of the game, not gonna lie. Can you do the wall kick? I guess, okay, you kind of can, but it doesn't seem to help much. This wall is weird to do the wall kick from anyway. Iframes last for like 2 seconds, but they're still barely enough. Alright, I can do this without tricks. No, wait, I have tricks still? I do. Maybe you get to keep tricks even when dying if you're the same character? Is that how that works, maybe? Oh yeah, this trap's up there. Let's just keep scrolling. I wonder if the... Yeah, the gate's there. So that gate's probably gonna fall, like in the arcade. That's a detail that was taken out of most versions. Like, getting just hit out of any move you try to do is kind of fucking annoying. Is it gonna be impossible to trigger this without getting hit? Nice that this is the sound of the attack whiffing. Are there more enemies back here? Oh, alright, there's traps, I forgot. Or do we have to just press into the corner on the far right? What's the deal here? Oh, nope, there's... I guess there's dudes left. The scrolling, like the... That's such a weird thing in like every version of this game. The stage just being like one long screen, and you can kind of scroll freely back and forth. But enemies, like, yeah, the way the enemy waves are sort of laid out relative to the stage layout, or aren't, is such a weird thing. Alright, this move seems to maybe have iframes. So, if I go back to the shop and buy more extra men. Okay, I am missing tricks now. Weird. Let's see if we can go back. So I'm probably better off... Oh, why is it, like, slowing down? Oh, I'm confused by so many aspects of this. Fuck it, let's get the power up. We're definitely depleting our coin storage pretty quickly here, but I guess if you go into the shop, maybe it's I don't know, one of the things you purchase, either the power-up or the extra guys, also seems to refill your health, and it fills it all the way up to 350. Unlike the 230 standard for arcade and 250 in the DOS version. Man, this room looks really nice though. Curious to see what the ninja is gonna look like. Yeah, like this is way nicer look. Like the environments, I think overall are nice looking in this, but a lot of the characters are definitely a bit dopey looking. Yeah, there's like no comboing. Like your saving grace is getting a free hit when you get knocked down. I mean, looks pretty much like the arcade. This guy. Hitboxes are fucking whack though. Yeah, you can't get like comboed by the shuriken. That's very nice. That's definitely a huge issue in some other versions. But like, I basically can't seem to hit him without getting hit myself. The only time I land a hit is when he lands a hit. Which doesn't bode well for this part of the fight. Well, at least I can hit more of them at once. Keep butt slamming back and forth. There we go. It's like sick. Iframes. I'll take it. I mean, I guess this version is like a little faster than some other versions, but I'll be honest, like I'm definitely a bit underwhelmed. I expected more. And yeah, extra guys is it's like it's such a weird meta phrasing. Like it doesn't seem like that would be. I mean, take disregarding for a second the weirdness of just going to a shop to recruit people. Hey, that actually went all right. I knew it. You are real strong. I have the stone. From now on, you will need my help. Alright, okay. Let's go to Rome then, I guess. The fact that it's called extra guys, it's not called like recruit or support or fighters. It's like, some extra guys. Just hanging out with the guys. Oh, this looks kind of different. Alright, the foreground objects are... Oh shit, I forgot that was a thing. The horseback boss was... Oh, dude, the down attack? That's another thing I forgot was a thing in this game. I guess that's in this version? Yeah, you could do it. Sick. Army of Toasters. Should I play DD3 for the NES? I think it's an interesting game. It's extremely difficult and unfair. The difficulty balancing is really strange in that game. But it's got amazing music and really great pixel art. Like, it's definitely not a bad game, but it's pretty dang frustrating. I guess it wouldn't surprise me if there are, ROM hacks that people have made to make it a little more bearable, because it is, it's not only a hard game. It's kind of rough in that like the first stage is like the hardest. I wouldn't say everything about it was good. The controls are kind of fucked with like dropped inputs happening strangely often. Am I supposed to jump kick this guy, or did we forget some dude spawning on the left? I mean, we played other versions that had go signs. Oh, yep, we forgot some dudes, I guess. It's been so many versions since we had the down attack that I completely forgot that it was a thing. Bonk. Not nearly as satisfying to land in this version. Thank you very much for the follow. I think, like I said, Double Dragon 3 is a cool game. It's it's kind of annoying. But the presentation, art, everything, like it's really awesome in it for sure. Kyle's got an upgrade. I have no idea what that means. Fuck, I hate that you don't start with iframes on a new life. Alright, at least you can knock him down and do that. Like, the enemy's, like, targeting is just so aggressive in this version. Like, you can't get any breathing room. And, like, you just get hit out of almost anything you do. But at least it's a short stage. And there's no shop, so we didn't get to spend / waste any coins. No cutscene, just boom, Egypt. Jake? I'm not sure who Kyle or Jake is. Oh, motorcycles, right, I forgot. Oh, hey, that went well. Alright, that's weird. Oh, shit! Little sinkhole. I thought we were fighting enemies in the first room first, but I guess not. Alright, this looks pretty good. Read a fun fact that a guide writer called it males with buzz cuts Jakes. Well, they're... I guess I don't know. Maybe I was gonna say they're... they're Williams and Roper, but I guess I'm not sure if I know that for a fact. That's just like the standard enemies in Double Dragon. Maybe they are Jake and something else. But there's other versions that has the cartwheel guys definitely being called Williams, so I'm pretty sure that's what they are. Then again, I can't fault anyone for making up their own names for enemies in these games, because it's not like they're very clearly labeled. You know, the names never really seem to appear in the games themselves. Actually, yeah, I remember looking at the manual, I think, for Double Dragon 2, and they say Williams and Roper. I could be wrong. Could be getting it mixed up. Anyway, this section looks really nice. Alright, continue. Oh, hey, we're back to Billy. It's been a while. Oh, boy. Life bar just getting melted here. It's funny that you can actually do the down attack after they're dead. Alright, these guys grunt like regular dudes. Bonk. He should be dead now, right? Yeah. Oh, we're not done yet. Yeah. The knee stomp follow attack, not nearly as satisfying, but I'm glad it's in here. Oh boy. These credits are going fast. Williams makes me think the black and white boxer dudes. Williams. In DD2, yeah, because Roper, I guess, is the other guy, right? With the black vest and the eye patch or whatever he has in that game. Oh, right, this section. Oh, right, there's the shop. Whew. All right, I guess on this stage you get Sunny's. Okay, so let's just exit. Okay, no health refill, but if I buy extra guys, I'm curious what actually triggers. Nah, probably the power-up. Maybe the power-up is health. Maybe it's not actually power-up in this version. Man, the shop graphics are so nice in this version, though. Williams and Willie are also separate, because the boss in DD1 is Machine Gun Willie. Painting on the back wall looks kind of... It doesn't really look like painting. Alright, let's do the flying whatever. It's supposed to be a flying clothesline. It really doesn't look like it here. Fuck this guy, right.
Friendship. Friendship again.
Oh, you didn't even do that. What up, Scuddy? Thank you very much for the host. Best Double Dragon game. Yeah, we're here on the tail end of this marathon of Double Dragon 3. I would argue this is not the best version of Double Dragon 3, even if you happen to like it. It's a weird one that I'd honestly expect it to be better. Oh, alright. So much for Billy. Weird thing that they... Yeah, the nicest looking thing in the game is the fucking shop. Stomp. I actually killed him. Nice. Otherwise, like, I can't fucking hit that guy without taking damage. We got 7 coins left. I don't think we can beat the game, but we're getting pretty far. Playing some Dusk? Yeah. Alright. Oh, shit. Oh my god! Okay, what the fuck? You have like 2 seconds. What the... What? What the... What? I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. I had to like speed run that shit. What the heck? Okay, the stone golems are fat mummies in this version. I can dig that. It doesn't look like the down attack actually hits more than one enemy in this version, though. Only one of them reacts, anyway. Dude, the background looks gorgeous, though. It's funny how the backgrounds generally look good in this, but nothing else does. Oh, that's not true, but the changes to the characters is a bit weird. I do like that you can do the down attack from pretty far away. Alright, didn't trigger there for some reason. Oh, shit. It takes so much damage from everything. I mean, playing kind of carelessly, though. You probably want to do, like, more hit-and-run shit like this. And because of the teleporting stuff, just like in the fucking Spectrum version, it's impossible to tell how many enemies there actually are and how many's left. Dash, damn you! There we go. Nice. Oh, holy shit, I can't believe I squeezed through there. Nope. I knew I was getting hit there. Shit. I'm happy if we can make it to the final boss room. But I definitely don't expect us to have much progress? Success is the word I'm looking for. Having much success in there if we do make it that far. But we have Hiroko to deal with first. Well, we have these fucking guys to deal with first, but what I meant to say is we have to get through Hiroko before the boss. I do like that if you get if you actually trigger the down attack, the chase attack, whatever, pursuit, they do just stay on the ground until you hit them. All right, this should be the last guy. 4 coins. Oh, we have to go. No, there's more guys. Nope, never mind. It's her. All right. Okay. Cool. Oh, of course. I was gonna say, hey, it's just the one. Maybe it's okay, but nah. Just gonna give us a rough time. I guess you can't down attack her. Oh, wait. No, never mind. It's just like going to the top of the screen. What's that sound? Oh, you can. You just need to... What? That's weird. Like, way more specific about the spacing. Oh, nice. Alright, she just dies. She doesn't... My treasure. So weirdly ghetto. Oh, shit, there's the mummy first. I forgot about the mummy. This kind of skipping over a bit in the story here makes this... Alright, so in the arcade, you can just do this shit. Not so much here. Nope. Yeah, the collision detection is a bit fucked in this version. See? Like, it just goes right through them. Do you jump kick? Nope. Let's see if we can at least get to the final boss. Maybe. Trading hits. Yeah, that's like half life gone. More, actually. I think he died. Yeah. Okay. 1 coin. We're gonna be able to have to land a lot of hits without taking damage to do this. Oh, okay, this looks kind of cool. Oh boy, it's like... Okay. Let's just say you're being allowed to land a lot more hits than in the arcade. Well, the background is a little bit disorienting, but I love the kind of shading on the box itself. Like the corners being more intense. The battle has ended. Why was the final boss easier than every single enemy in the entire game? What the heck? Music doesn't change. No final boss music, no ending music. The heroes swore that they would give Cleopatra's treasure to charity. More lack of punctuation, but... Or like, no apostrophe. Oh, dude, this art looks better than ever. We got full-on karate Spock. When the third stone is found, its power will change the world. But no no ending music. No credits. God, what a ghetto-ass port. I can't believe it. Alright, well, I mean, we had to crank up the coins. But we actually beat the game. I did not think we would do that. What a mess. What a mess. Redhead Jimmy. I like that the demo, like, just gets beat up too. But hey, 2 players on screen and 4 enemies? That's pretty decent. We did it. We did get the GG. First try. Wow. A lot to take in, a lot to process. But there you have it. I mean, it was very unfortunate with the Game Boy version not working out. I'm not going to say that it seemed particularly promising, but it would have been nice. Does it scale for 2P? I'm assuming you mean like number or toughness, etc. for enemies. No idea. The only thing I was able to glean right there from the demo is that the number of coins seems to double. Because they had, in the demo, there was 30 coins. So that's probably, I guess, 15 each. I'm not really sure. Like, I understand that the NES version has like scaling like that for enemies. I have no idea about any other version of any Double Dragon, really. Should try AFK 2P. Yeah, we can check it out. I'm not sure if I'm that eager. You know what we can do, actually? I'm pressing A plus B plus C. We can change start men to Masao and Nunio. And America tune, China tune, Japan tune, punch, hit, thud. Like, these samples sound great, and then music just sounds like shit. Kapoof. Yeah, there's no Egypt theme here. What's up with that? No Italy either, by the way. There's America tune, China tune, Japan tune, and then there's no more music. Why is like half the music missing from the sound test? And the title tune is all different. There's so many bizarre things about this port. Wait, I didn't get to... What's up here? Does this game have 2-player support? I mean, obviously in the demo. I guess I didn't get to pick... I'm so fucking confused. I guess I can join in, hopefully. Surely that would, even if I'm joining in, if there's scaling... Yep, there we go. Yeah, our coins just doubled too. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They went up by 5. I went from 25 to 29. I do like that they're blue and red. Unlike the arcade, where player 1 is white. I guess they have to join in. There's no, like, start a 2-player game, which is kind of fucked, by the way. Alright, let's escape to the shop. Technically, I guess we did get a few extra coins. If player 2 isn't going to use anymore, then we have 29 instead of 25. Still a good song, but this version is a bit messed up. Oh, he can suplex. That's... Alright, down and kick to suplex. It's a weird suplex. It just like tosses them. But hey, it's a suplex. It's got a spinning kick, maybe? Yep. These running attacks are just too goofy. And they're using his like jump kick frame for his getting knocked down also. That's messed up. There's like, see, it's like a fucking bootleg game. Why is there a smack sound effect in the middle of the suplex, and then it doesn't even like knock him into the... Oh, it's so weird. Exploiting, I don't know. I feel like the game's been exploiting me all day. I'm not going to feel guilty about it. Doing another full run of this, though, I don't know. 2P meta is born. Hey, you can actually, like, easily jump kick these guys off of the bikes, at least. Well, relatively speaking. Like, in a lot of the, like, the C64 version, I'd have to do it, like, 20 times before I could actually hit it. And even when I did, it was, like, a mystery how I actually did it. But this is one of the more, like, for as smoothly as this controls, it's easily one of the more annoying versions to play. Because it's, like, if this game didn't have the iframes on Wake Up, holy shit, like, it would be impossible even by Double Dragon 3 standards. Because you basically can't ever seem to hit enemies without, you know, them hitting you. Also, every single attack produces a hit noise even when you attack thin air. Like, why are we hearing these sound effects? Weird. Hey man, a lot of the computer ports were actually pretty good. I don't think the C64 version was incredible, but it was very impressive in its own right, and it was better than the C64 versions of 1 and 2. Which, by the way, the C64 version of Double Dragon 2 is super impressive. It's just got very tanky enemies, so it's pretty boring to play. Do I have a Patreon for the YouTube series? Nope, I don't have anything like that. In fact, I don't really have... I wouldn't say that I have a YouTube series. I have a YouTube channel where I sometimes, when I'm not lazy, upload archives from Twitch. I don't really... I mean, I would like to make YouTube videos at some point, but Twitch is like my main thing. However, if you are like super keen on the stuff I make and would like to support, the best way probably is, you know, direct support through subscription or donation. There's a link if you scroll down if you really want to give me cash. But I don't have any other kind of Patreon or similar services that I use. Of course, I wouldn't never ask anyone to give me money. Like, you know, if you enjoy what I do, more, you know, it's more than enough to just hang out, watch, spread the word maybe if you'd be so inclined. But I mean, it's up to you. I mean, I don't do this for a living. I don't do this for profit. If people support me, I, of course, super appreciate it. It's really generous. But it's more for the fun of it, and having an audience of people who have interest, who to some degree shares my interest, or, you know, being able to super nerd out about dumb shit and having people around to actually put up with it. that's more than enough for, you know, I can't ask for more than that. Yeah, I mean, it's the same with anything. If you know, as far as spending money, whether it's, you know, if you go to a shop and buy something with a credit card, you're paying your bank. That's like how it works. But like I said, you know, it's whatever strikes your fancy. You can buy bits through Twitch and donate them. You can subscribe on Twitch. You can subscribe with Twitch Prime through Amazon. The donation link that I have is through Streamlabs. And I've never donated through that myself, so I guess I don't know exactly how it works, but basically, I assume that you can use whatever form of payment through there, whether it's PayPal or direct through credit card or whatever. I actually have no idea. Why are we still playing this? I'm not sure. Also, we get more Masaos. That's kind of... Well, okay, we're in the... Well, hang on. I was going to say we're in the Japan stage, but we didn't buy the extra guys in this stage. Do you just always stick with the same character if you don't start with Billy and Jimmy? That's weird. Which version is next? Well, that's the thing, right? This is version number 10, and as such, we have gone through the entire list of Double Dragon 3 games. So this is where our journey ends for today. It's been informative. In a way, I'm not quite as enthused at the end of this as I was perhaps at the end of the Double Dragon 2 stream. But I think that there's two reasons for that. One, with Double Dragon 2, we ended with PC Engine CD version of that game, which is my favorite version of that game, and it's kind of great. On this episode, we ended on one of the more disappointing ports, I have to say. And also, it's Double Dragon 3. It's not really as good of a game to begin with, and I didn't go into this with the highest expectations in general for today. But that concludes the look at the original arcade trilogy and their ports. But there's plenty of Double Dragon games left to check out. Yeah, the PC Engine version of Double Dragon 2 is awesome. It's basically a remake of the NES version, but it has a lot less stupid bullshit platforming and less annoying bosses, basically. It's got anime cutscenes that are awesome. The soundtrack is a bit iffy, but that's really the only complaint I have. It's a really cool version. But what's next? What are we gonna check out next time? Continuing our chronology. Technically, we're kind of taking a step back because we're going to check out the Game Boy Double Dragon 2, which came out in 1991, which is not a port of Double Dragon 2 The Revenge. It's a reskinned Kunio-kun game that was made into a Double Dragon game for the Western market. There had already been one Double Dragon game, so they called it Double Dragon 2, but it's unrelated to the original arcade Double Dragon 2, which is why we didn't check it out that time. So next time is going to be a bit of a grab bag because we're going to be playing Return of Double Dragon for the Super Nintendo. We're going to be playing Double Dragon 2 for Game Boy. We're going to be playing Double Dragon: The Revenge of Billy Lee for the Sega Game Gear. And we're probably gonna be checking out the different versions of Battletoads Double Dragon. That's kind of all around here. I'm looking at my notes here. And after that is Double Dragon 5: The Shadow Falls, the fighting game based on the cartoon, which has 3 separate versions. So we got 4 versions of Battletoads Double Dragon: Super Nintendo, Mega Drive, NES, and Game Boy. And we got 3 versions of Double Dragon 5. That looked pretty funny. The Mega Drive version, the Super Nintendo version, and the Jaguar version, which came out a year later with enhanced new graphics. Why did 5 come out like 20 years before 4? Well, because basically the publisher of Double Dragon 5 considered Super Double Dragon, aka Return of Double Dragon, as the 4th game. Which, that's what most people referred to it at the time. Like, at least in my neck of the woods, people definitely called it Double Dragon 4. But it was called Super Double Dragon. So they considered it 5. And then Technos didn't agree. Counting The Shadow Falls, it makes Super Double Dragon 4. But Technos didn't consider it 4, I guess, because it's not following up from 3. It's just a different Double Dragon. And they didn't call the Neo Geo movie game Double Dragon 6. It's just Double Dragon. A lot of games are just called Double Dragon in this series. And so Double Dragon 4 was basically Arc System Works getting a bunch of the original developers from Double Dragon 1 and the other NES and arcade games to make a new game in the style of the NES game. It's called 4, but it's like more of a sequel to 2. It plays much more like 2 than 3. Finally, take a step forward, Triple Dragon. I mean, that's this game, right? We got, well, not this game, but the arcade game. We got Billy and Jimmy, and then Sonny. Anyway, for these first 3 episodes, it was easy enough to just section off one game at a time. We looked at all the versions of 1, and then all the versions of 2, and then all the versions of 3. But obviously, moving forward, we're going to have a lot more separate games with fewer individual versions of each game. So I think, I don't know, we could do, depending on how much time we have and how we go about it, we might go through those ports I mentioned, including Battletoads Double Dragon and Double Dragon 5, etc. But after Double Dragon 5, there's the Neo Geo Double Dragon, which we're going to play the arcade version and the PlayStation version. And after that is Rage of the Dragon, also for the Neo Geo, which isn't officially a Double Dragon game, but it was originally conceived as a Double Dragon game, so I thought it would be worthwhile to include it in the list. So that kind of gives us a whole bunch of fighting games, which I think it would be interesting to check those out in the same stream. I'll have to workshop this a little bit, and have to schedule and figure out which games we're going to be playing, but what I can say for sure is on the next installment of the Double Dragon series retrospective, we're going to be playing Return of Double Dragon, Revenge of Billy Lee, and the Game Boy Double Dragon 2. That's 100% sure. I guess I need to double check that the Game Boy one actually works and that the controls work. And actually, you know what? If I can somehow get Double Dragon 3 on Game Boy to work, maybe we'll check out that next time also, just for completeness sake. Yeah, the arcade Double Dragon 3 did have 3-player support. That's correct. That's accurate. However, these streams take a little bit of time and energy to prepare, and they take a certain amount of energy to actually do. I've been live for almost exactly 10 hours right now, which technically makes this stream a little shorter than the previous 2. But it means that I'm going to do some other stuff in between. And tomorrow is Friday. And I thought it would be nice to do another versus fighting game viewer request stream, because I haven't done one of those in a bit. That's something I do on a semi-regular basis. We play fighting games all night, and people get to request which game to play next, most of them from my collection/backlog. What's up, Lonely Demon? Yes, I'm sorry to say you're about 10 hours late. We're just wrapping up here. I've been playing since noon, and it is currently 9:42 p.m. And I really need to get more to eat. Was busy. Yes, I was gonna say sorry about that, but it is what it is. It would have been nice to have you around, of course. I don't mean to say I'm glad you didn't make it. I'm just saying, them's the breaks. Did I get Death Dealer put together? I did not. I'm glad people are interested. You're like the third person to ask. The thing is, it became a little more of a project than I was ready for, and I didn't want to start. Like, I feel like I have to do it in one sitting, and I didn't have the time to like do some research to find more. I'm not confident in my ability to put it together without finding some better instructions or reference, and I just didn't have time to do that. So he might be sitting in that box for months before I get around to it. Who knows? But if I do, and I figure out where to put the goddamn figure, I'll keep you guys posted. I'll be posting photos on Twitter and Discord for sure. Which, by the way, let me drop some links here for. I think we probably have some people here who might not be regular viewers. I do have a Discord for people to hang out and chat. That's where I usually post the most up-to-date info on upcoming streams. I don't have a super regular schedule. I also tweet stuff about my stream and other stuff, old games, fighting games, art, whatever. I have been posting like Twitter threads with some thoughts about Double Dragon 1 and Double Dragon 2. I'll probably do another long Twitter thread about these games today, but probably not tonight. I need some rest. But yeah, tomorrow night, European time. No exact starting time, but I have some other stuff to do during the day, so I'm probably doing kind of my regular schedule, which probably starting around maybe 6 p.m.-ish, something like that, maybe a little earlier, maybe a little later. And for a couple of hours, we'll be playing some fighting games on stream tomorrow. Before we get to more Double Dragon games, we might do another art stream. I might do more PlayStation 1 games. We started Alice in Cyberland. That game was awesome. I started Pitfall 3D. That game was kind of awesome too. So maybe we'll continue with one of those games or something. But right now, I've been streaming for 10 hours. My brain is a bit mush. I'm not really in my best state of mind to make a lot of planning and scheduling. So I'll need to think it over and we'll see what happens. But we're doing fighting games tomorrow anyway. So if that sounds like fun, feel free to tune in back then. Get some rest, bro. That sounds like a good idea. But still, even though this has been a slightly underwhelming compared to the Double Dragon 1 and 2 streams, I think that was to be expected. Double Dragon 3 is a weird game. I still had a great time, and I'm greatly appreciative of everyone hanging out.
Unspeakable horror awaits you.
Lonely Demon 69, can't help yourself, Ra. More gift subs. Thank you so much for your endless generosity. I greatly appreciate it. Dedicated Lurking 9 to 5. Enjoy your skull. Enjoy your emotes. Take care, everyone. Please stick around for another 2 minutes or so. I'm gonna see who else is streaming and send you lovely people their way. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Stay sane. Hope to see you guys tomorrow or some other not too distant future stream.